That's why the insurance company wants to settle with you quickly. They want you to sign away your claim before you even know the full extent of your injuries. Don't accept pennies on the dollar. Never sign anything until you speak with me. I'm Orlando injury attorney Mo DeWitt. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit justcallmo.com. Or call 1-800-CALL-MO.
Hey everybody, Jim Colbert here. Look, when it comes to protecting your family and belongings, what's more important than the roof over your head? Not much. And that's why I go with the most experience out there with the best reviews. That's Eustace Roofing. Over 1,000 5-star reviews with a 4.9 Google rating with over 1,000 reviews. Providing all of Central Florida with quality roofing for over 65 years. And these guys are metal roofing experts, meaning they build it on site for perfect fit. And they even have no interest financing available. Visit EustaceRoofing.com today and schedule your free estimate.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news. Mortgage rates have improved again this week. Get your quote for a refinance to lower payments or get cash out at thatmortgagguydon.com.
With that mortgage guy, Don.com.
Visit Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Tampa today to sign up for Unity by Hard Rock, the global loyalty program unlike any other, designed to reward you for doing what you love. New members receive a limited edition Seminole Hard Rock Tampa t-shirt and can play up to $200 on us. Slots, tables, stays, dining. Get rewarded for your experience. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT. Your oasis awaits at Seminole Hard Rock Tampa.
Roundup Dual Action products rock like a hardcore metal band. This stuff kills existing weeds down to the root, and for an encore, keeps them from coming back for up to 4 months. That's a non-stop 16-week tour of killing and preventing weeds in all the famous outdoor venues, the patio, the driveway, the mulch bed, even along the fence. When it comes to your hardscapes and landscapes, the stuff puts on a show. Roundup Dual Action products kill and prevent weeds for up to 4 months. This stuff rocks. This stuff works. When used as directed, always read and follow pesticide label directions.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Want to win $15,000 in new impact windows from Reese Windows? Pick up your phone and text the word WOW to 20129. That's WOW to 20129.
Future health, weight loss.
Get access to weight loss meds like Ozempic, Zepbound, and pill options if you don't like injections from FutureHealth.com. The meds eliminate hunger and cravings, while Future Health handles the rest. Best results, best price. All online with no insurance needed. Join those losing 10 pounds in their first month. Visit FutureHealth.com. Future without the E to start losing weight this week.
Future health, weight loss.
Data based on independent study sponsored by Future Health. Future Health is not a healthcare services provider. Meds are prescribed at provider's discretion.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Premier Men's Medical Center. 98% of patients see instant results. Call today.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Need help after an accident? Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, BILLS. B-I-L-L-S. Bills. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. You are now listening to The Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1.
That's right, guys. Here we go on a Monday edition of the Jim Colbert Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate that, as we do every single day. And we do have a good program set up for you this afternoon. We'll get you caught up on what's happening in the world. Deb does it around 3:20 with JCS News. 4 o'clock hour at Sports with our buddy Brandon Kravitz. We'll talk NFL Draft, Magic, and Orlando City. action. 5 o'clock hour, it's trivia. Solar Bears versus Stingrays, Atlanta versus Orlando City, plus Tijuana Flats gift cards as well. We'll end it up with our buddy Ray Trindley, and you heard it here first. 4 opportunities for you to win $1,000, plus your calls, texts, and talkbacks. Welcome to the program. I'm Jim. To my left, my lovely and very dangerous co-host, Ms. Deb Roberts.
Hello there.
Straight ahead producer, Jack Bradshaw.
Good afternoon.
407-916-1041. Text us easily at 77031. Find us on social, Instagram, Facebook at The Jim Colbert Show. On X, just at Jim Colbert Show, and all day, every day at JimColbertLive.com. That's where you can check us out on YouTube. Ooh. All the things that are fun with the show, all the podcasts are right there. Your 3 o'clock keyword is bills. BILLS. Get over to realradio.fm and send that off for your chance at $1,000, guys. Bills is your 3 o'clock keyword. Good luck.
RealRadio.fm. We need a winner.
We do need a winner. Just go to RealRadio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000.
Real Radio's only had 5.
Also, if you want to check somebody or send us a talkback, you could do that as well. Get the iHeartRadio app. Go to Real Radio and use that microphone to send your comment on down the line. Met with a new client today. They'll be coming on in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Great people. One of the guys was telling me he was over on the coast doing some work. And he walked into the gentleman had on a Jim Colbert Show T-shirt. And he goes, hey, I listen to that show. And the guy goes, what I do?
No way.
He was over there doing some work. It's Paul Davis Restoration. They do smoke, flood, cleanup, plus a bunch of other stuff. We'll get into that a little bit later. But they were over there doing some work and met T-Bag somehow. Some way.
That's awesome.
And so
that is
doing
awesome.
his thing. Good weekend, guys. Everything all right? Everything going good?
Well, I know we had a good Easter yesterday. Got together with the family to go wait a small amount of time, only an hour, at Cook's. You know, what used to be the Holiday House in DeLand.
Oh,
man. The hostess who sat us, she said it was her 4th day on the job. I said, have you been slammed like this all day? She said, honestly, it's been like this since I started.
Damn, really?
Yeah, exact. Good food.
Now, can you get in there if you're under 70? Is that still allowed, or is that one of those? They still have Jell-O mold stuff on the buffet there?
I didn't see. They had everything else.
Man, I remember we used to go to the one in Winter Park, and I swear on my life, I mean, up until the day it shut down, it was Holiday House. Then they still had that Jell-O mold thing on the menu. You go up there and see a green Jell-O cake with all that stuff floating in the middle. It looked like frozen vomit.
Oh, yum.
Best roast beef in the world, though.
Oh, yeah.
Best roast beef in the blanking world. I don't know how they did it right all those times.
I don't know either. And, the family is pretty excited about those buttered carrots, too.
Oh, yeah, man. Pretty good.
How about your Easter?
We actually just stayed home. I really wasn't feeling all the well. Kids came over last night to hang out. And
you were doing your snack wrap bar. Did you do that? What?
We wound up doing kebabs. We did not.
Nice.
It's so funny you say the snack rack bar. I never even really...
You said you were going to do it with the kids.
Not with Easter dinner, though. I mean, we wound up doing like kebabs and, shrimp and steak and chicken kebabs and stuff like that. It was good, though, man.
Well, that's good.
Good time.
Yeah, shrimp kebabs. That really says the Lord is risen.
Yeah, sure. Exactly what it is, Jack. It's how I break Lent with shrimp. I'm not even Catholic.
I made lasagna. What
Did you really?
Yeah, because, he hasn't had lasagna in a long time.
How was your Easter, Jack? Everything good?
Yeah, absolutely. Nice time. It's not the same, when you have kids, when... The baskets, we still have their baskets, but they're still away somewhere, I just, at the last minute, I went out on Saturday night because I knew some stores would not be open on Sunday. I did, with 15 minutes before they closed at 10. I went to Walgreens and got a couple bunnies. Just so the girls would have chocolate bunny, just to have something.
It's so funny. My mom said,
connected,
My mom was like the same thing. She's like, it's just not the same not making you guys Easter baskets. And she just doesn't feel comfortable giving me a 5th of rum and a pack of smokes in the Easter grass.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I agree.
That would be the best thing. Adult Easter baskets is a business waiting to happen.
It is. And matter of fact, I think they were talking about on the Monsters today. It's like, what do you put in that? But what I got for myself, because I bought a couple of bunnies for the girls.
Right.
And then I saw those damn Cadbury eggs that we've been
eating
for 2 months, and I bought another bag.
Another bag of the other one, not filled though, right? The ones that have that candy.
No, the candied one. Yeah.
But what's interesting is that Now, Daryl Payne from Paw Affection Dog Training brings those back from us from England because the Cadbury chocolate we get is from Brazil because it's too hot here to send us the real one. Did you notice the difference in the chocolate?
Not with the candies that I was eating, but it's funny.
Was it that fast you were eating?
CBS Sunday Morning did a whole thing on Cadbury and the how they make that chocolate and the eggs and how it is a little different here in the States.
I used to love Cadbury eggs.
See, I had somebody who used to eat those cream eggs.
That's what they are.
Yeah, I've never had one in my life.
Seriously?
Kind of grossed out by the idea.
They're all sugar, dude.
It is
delicious. You crack that little top and you use that as a scoop to get out the sugary inside.
I can't think of anything that would trigger a diabetic coma faster.
Oh, maybe 3 in a row.
Than a Cadbury cream egg. It is literally chocolate filled with
sugar.
liquid sugar.
Nom, nom, nom,
I don't know how you can eat one. Like it gums your mouth shut.
I've never tried one. I was just always grossed out by it.
Oh,
Are you not a fried egg person?
Oh, I love fried eggs.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure because for some people it's the yolky thing.
Oh, yeah. No,
that gets them.
I don't see that as real egg. I just see it as real disgusting.
Yeah, it is just so much sugar. Like you can't even get past the taste of it. There is just.
Well, if you haven't eaten it, you don't know.
Oh, I've had a Cadbury cream egg. I can't stand them. I do like the chocolate on the outside, however. It's just all that stuff in the middle is so disgusting. By the way, the guys over at Paul Davis also gave us some nothing but bunt cakes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
awesome.
the cupcake version. And I just had one, and it's got some coconut in there, some chocolate coconut, and it's got that buttercream icing that's real. It's not that fondant like where it's nasty. Oh, God, they're so good. I could have about one of those.
Yeah?
And that triggers my diabetic coma. My left boob, I don't have any feeling in it right now.
You should go get a Pepsi and just do the whole trifecta.
No,
just wash it down with some sugar.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. The big news out there, of course, is the Pope has passed at 88 years old.
My favorite.
He was your favorite Pope.
He was.
That's funny.
In my whole
Mine
life.
too.
Was he really?
Mine too.
He was the most
him.
progressive of them, right?
Yeah.
Well,
like he actually kind of butted heads with a number of political organizations, did he not?
Well, especially
That's why they got rid of him.
Exactly.
Oh, don't start it.
Especially Vatican leadership, the old guard. I loved him because one of the things that's always driven me crazy about the papacy is the pomp and circumstance. And I loved how Francis eschewed that. He stayed in a humble apartment. He didn't wear the Ferragamo shoes that they normally get. No palatial palaces. He didn't ride in a armed car.
He walked the walk.
He walked the walk. He took public transportation. At the conclave where he was chosen to be pope, he went to the front desk and paid his own hotel bill.
Did he really?
Yeah,
that's great.
That's
my kind of pope.
He lived as he preached.
Right.
And I loved and respected him to no end.
You mean just like all the American televangelists?
I used to have a spot for Joel Osteen until he didn't walk the walk.
And then Joel,
when his sheep needed him.
Then Joel Osteen didn't have a spot for anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
When the
That's what
power
I'm
went out,
talking
they got
about.
10 degrees.
The flooding in Houston.
Yeah,
it was a flooding from the storm.
Harvey.
You don't want a guy like this Pope in charge of Christianity. They'd be broke in 2 weeks. Because they'd be doing what they're supposed to be doing, which is taking care of the poor and the destitute. That's exactly what churches are supposed to do. You guys realize that part of the Republican Party, some of the old staff of the Republican Party believes that one of the reasons that they're trying to privatize a lot of these other organizations is because they believe the church should be taking care of the alms of the needy. That's exactly what the old belief is, from what I understand.
Right?
Yeah.
Was that torn out of the page of Project 2025?
Well, I mean, that's what I'd heard that was supposed to happen. Like, that's the whole idea is that's supposed to happen. The churches don't do that anymore.
Well, I mean, they
just
do.
Don't.
But the need is far greater than that.
Sure, yeah.
Now, the other thing I like, too, was that he was a nightclub bouncer.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah.
That dude?
Francis was a nightclub bouncer.
No way. I did not know that.
Yeah, and then he was also a professor.
Hold up for a second.
He was ordained in 1969.
I thought, okay, so let me stop here because, and by the way, pardon my ignorance when it comes to Catholicism.
Just be kind.
Oh, no. I have nothing but questions. I mean, because I truthfully do not know the answer. I will say this upon myself. I don't know if anybody else thinks this way. I do not know. I thought that popes, as a rule, were kind of chosen like very young and almost kind of molded into that once it was shown. Like, and I'll take it by this, like that saint that's lying in state right now.
The first millennial
of is it Assisi?
Assisi.
Assisi. There you go.
Well,
that guy's he's like 13 or 14 years old, right? And he has sainthood now.
Well, he's in line for it, but he hasn't received it yet.
Right, but anyway, I mean, he's a 12 or 13-year-old, and he's going to be, is it canonized?
Yeah.
Into that? That's the whole word. Like, so I always thought that popes were kind of chosen from a select, almost SEAL Team 6-esque level of people who are in the faith at that level. I did not know that, like, they had former lives.
You need to watch Conclave.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah, no.
I need to watch Conclave.
Yeah, and you may be thinking more like the Tibetan, like the Dalai Lama. He was chosen as a child.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
and his life is all designed for him to
ascend.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Catholicism isn't like that. Now, sainthood isn't limited to any age. And you don't get sainthood unless there's a certain number of miracles that have to be attributed to you.
Yeah,
Right.
you don't even have to be a priest.
You don't
or
have to even be a
anything.
Catholic
No.
to become a saint.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a lot of people, saints, a lot of people think they're all good and godly and not. I mean, a lot of the saints, like St. Augustine, he was a womanizing drunkard, always wanted to party.
Tell me more about this St. Augustine.
He was the famous one who said, give me sobriety and, give me, what was it when you don't have sex?
Abstinence.
Abstinence. Give me sobriety and abstinence, just not yet.
So this gentleman lived and I'm using the word normal / regular here, outside of the context of being the Pope. I mean, he lived a relatively normal life until what age?
Until I think he was in his 20s when he went into the priesthood. So he's the son of Italian immigrants.
Okay.
Who moved to Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Okay.
He's
the first one from Latin America, correct?
Yes, he is. He's the first one from the Americas, period, from North or South America.
Got it.
He's the first Latin American Pope.
Okay.
He's the first one to be named Francis. Because the patron saint of the poor is St. Francis of Assisi. You also know him as the saint of animals and stuff like that. But yeah, he was a nightclub bouncer, and then he was a professor. He was known for walking the streets of Buenos Aires with holes in his shoes, giving out shoes to the poor.
Damn, dude.
And he wouldn't take...
So is there, I know we're going to get into this a little bit later, and I don't want to step on all your news. I do have tons of questions here because really what I did today was just kind of try to learn a little bit as much as I could about what was happening here because I don't have a connection to the Pope like that. It's always for I guess, is it for Christians, is it Protestants? Is that what we're called here? I can't remember that.
Catholics?
Yeah, but
for because he's outside of Catholicism.
Right, yeah.
So then Christians is the overarching.
Understood. Got that. Yeah, but there are different. I mean, in Catholicism is that considered a sect of Christianity? Is it?
The word Catholic is Greek.
Got it. Okay.
And it means universal.
All right.
And it was because after Christ's crucifixion, everybody wanted to worship. Everybody brought their own little flavor to the table.
Sure, yeah.
So Catholic just meant everybody come together, and so the Mass has a little bit of Jewishness to it. It's got a little bit of Greek. It's got That's all it means. So you've got Coptic Christians and Catholics. Those are the oldest Christian sects on the planet.
But the reason I know that whatever my Christianity is or was as growing up, I was told this as a kid, and of course, don't take offense to this. It's just what I was told as a kid that the Pope really didn't have a lot of religious power because no person should pray to or be forgiven by a person.
Well, you don't pray to the Pope.
But the Pope can forgive you for sins, correct? I mean, so you do your whole rubbing the beads and
as any priest can in the Catholic religion.
Right. But that's specific to Catholicism, though.
Right,
because you can't go to your pastor as a Baptist and go, "Hey, look, I did some really gnarly stuff. How many beads do I have to rub before this is good?" Like and we don't have that type thing. That's a pray.
Well, consider getting it.
Yeah.
Well, that's a
that's a nice out.
That's a pray and ask for God type thing, and that's kind of what they looked at it as, is like an out as I was growing up.
That's just an outsider view.
Sure,
yeah,
100%. But the nuance of that, it doesn't just stop with me. A lot of people kind of feel that way because Catholicism.
We're here in the South. We're well aware as Catholics how y'all feel about us here in the South.
It's not feel about you; it's the fact that we don't know.
Right.
That's the fact. I mean, it's
there's a bunch of books called Left Behind, and it's us and the Jews.
Oh yeah, it's the ignorance, I believe, of what you've been taught as a kid coming up. Yeah.
But he really was. He was a. I didn't know Jack was his favorite pope as well, but he was a great man.
Very cool.
We
All
hope
right.
the church follows up.
We'll have a lot more to talk about a little bit later for sure. 407-916-1041. Don't forget your 3 o'clock keyword is Bills, BILLS. Go to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. Got some news for us, kiddo?
Yeah, the Vatican has announced the Pope's cause of death. Closer to home, a plane catches fire in Orlando. Nothing to see here, folks. And then spring skies bring sky-watching spectacles. We'll tell you why you want to step outside tonight and more coming up next during JCS News.
That's perfect. Let's take a little break. We'll come back and get Deb's news and more of the Jim Colbert Show on your way. Oh, my God.
It's Monday!
Real Radio is on Threads at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Things are currently moving slowly on I-4 in the usual spots this afternoon between US 27 and Worrell Drive, as well as between Osceola Parkway and 535. Delays also reported eastbound on the interstate for those traveling between the 408 and Colonial Drive this afternoon. Looking at axe activity blocking the northbound right lane on 1792 at Triplet Lake Drive. If you see traffic problems, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off. Free UPS shipping and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
This earful of Rail Radio is sponsored by RC Hill Mitsubishi, Highway 1792 in DeLand.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crush Yard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
Joe Rossi from Greenway Kia here. Tariffs are hitting the auto industry hard, but we're ready. We loaded up on brand new Kias across all 3 locations. Right now, they're in stock and tariff-free, with interest rates as low as 0% for 72 months. Plus, take $3,000 off any new 2025 Kia Sportage. We want to see you in a Kia. Visit greenwaykias.com.
Stock number SG2925557. MSRP $30,840. Qualified applicants through KFA, 0 down. $13.88 per thousand borrowed for 72 months at 0% APR financing. Plus tax title license, $8.99 dealer, and $249.50 doc fee. Expires 5/5/25.
Show off your new smile with Solid Bite. The dentists at Solid Bite use the latest techniques and technology to give you the smile you've always dreamed of. Call Solid Bite in Melbourne now for an exclusive radio offer at 321-259-8000. Solid Bite, life-changing dentistry.
To everyone who believes big flavor makes life better, we've got something special waiting for you at Culver's.
That's right. We're bringing back a flavor-packed fan favorite that's sure to put a smile on your face. The Colby Jack Pub Burger is here with a crave-worthy combo of fresh beef, Wisconsin Colby Jack cheese, crispy onions, and zesty A1 pepper mayo, all stacked on an everything bun. And we're not stopping there. We're also introducing something totally new. Concrete mixers and lemon ice coolers made with fruity Skittles Popped. This limited time Skittles Popped mix-in can be blended into our creamy, fresh frozen custard or slow frozen lemonade for a colorful crunch that makes every moment a little sweeter. So how soon can you get here? Because these bold bites won't be around forever. And trust us, you don't want to miss them.
From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
Join Jim Colbert on The Jim Colbert Show for his Cigar of the Week segment every Friday afternoon at 3:45. You can pick up these featured cigars at all 3 Corona Cigar Company locations, Dr. Phillips, Heathrow, and downtown. Learn more at coronacigar.com.
Mom and Dad seem different after a European-style holiday on MSC Cruises.
Call us Cloud and Yvette.
The ship had restaurants, shops, and nightlife.
La Galleria.
And of course, American touches like an aqua park and a sweets shop.
American je ne sais quoi.
Mom, you're from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, Kevin.
Book now and save up to 30% off, plus kids sale free.
MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
Listen up, Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. Music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web. So let's do it again and get vaccinated. We're at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults under 50. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit vaxassist.com to schedule. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm ready. Let me just grab my bag. Sweatpants, huh? Didn't know we were keeping it casual this month. Yeah, I feel bloated every now and then.
You have to try new Align 3-in-1 Biotic Gummies. They have prebiotics to nourish good bacteria, probiotics to help relieve occasional bloating, and postbiotics for immune support.
All that in one gummy?
Yep. So no sweatpants next time?
Not anymore.
Align 3-in-1 Biotic Gummies for gut health support. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
We don't want to live forever. We just want to live right now. They said, if you drink, you will die. My uncle went like this to the doctor. Oh. Yeah, man, let's go. He sees me one time, he thinks he knows me.
George Lopez, live on stage, June 8th, inside Hard Rock Event Center at Seminole Hard Rock Tampa. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com or HardRockTampa.com. Don't miss George Lopez Live, Seminole Hard Rock Tampa.
Thank you for making Mercedes-Benz of South Orlando one of the premier luxury dealerships in Central Florida. We are the official dealer of luxury, providing the ultimate VIP experience at a price you can afford. Call Monica Ventura at 689-319-7680. That's 689-319-7680. We guarantee you will be treated like VIP and nothing less. Across from the mall at Millennia.
Tariffs and your money? Well, we just offered our thoughts on the most recent episode of the How to Money podcast.
Let's say you do live in a state that gives you a tax break on $529. That's great, but don't invest those dollars once you put them in.
We're all about investing in a 529 plan. Typically, right? You want that tax advantage money to grow. But as you get close to needing to spend the money, de-risking is crucial.
In uncertain financial times, How to Money is here to help. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search How to Money, and start listening today.
Discover the new Buick SUVs in stock now at OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show.
What to do, Colbert crew? You know who? Your favorite tea bag in a pool. I can pee in this. Today we raise a beer to International Dingus Day.
What?
It's a Polish-American holiday where men and women equally swap water and pussy willow branches because they're the first plants to bloom in spring, welcoming spring.
Okay. That was an odd ending. I'm used to a sign off of some sort. I think he just drowned.
He's in a pool.
Yeah, I think he just drowned. That's what happened. He just kind of dipped under the water and called it good.
Might have dropped his beer.
That's even worse.
All right, your 3 o'clock keyword is Bills, B-I-L-L-S. Get over to realradio.fm and send that off for your chance at $1,000. Remember, playing the game on Turn It Up and answer it when it calls, because that's how they tell you you've won. Bills is your 3 o'clock keyword. Good luck. Welcome back. I'm Jim. Jack is right over there, and Deb has your news.
It's time for JCS News.
Wow, does this guy got to put his name on everything?
It's in my contract, dude.
Here's the news on The Jim Colbert Show.
And as always, and gratefully, JCS News is brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don. Pope Francis has died from a stroke. The Vatican released the 88-year-old's death certificate today. It says Francis died in his apartment at 7:35 a.m. local time from a cerebral stroke, coma, and irreversible cardiocirculatory collapse. It also listed previous health issues that also contributed to his death. Pope Francis's birth name was Jorge Bergoglio, and he was born in Argentina. Miami Archbishop Thomas Wensky, who previously served as the Bishop of the Diocese of Orlando, calls Francis a pope of many firsts.
He was the first pope from Latin America, the first Jesuit pope, the first pope to address a joint session of the United States Congress. He was also the first pope to name women to high positions in the Vatican.
Also mentioned he was also the first to be named Francis after St. Francis of Assisi and the first pope from outside Europe since the 8th century.
Wow.
Now, a historical process that takes place surrounding the death of Pope Francis is underway. It started at like 2 o'clock. First, the Pope's chief of staff calls out his baptismal name 3 times, and if there is no response, a death certificate is prepared. The chief of staff then takes the ring of the fisherman from Francis and destroys it, along with his papal seal, to ensure there are no forgeries. He then starts planning for the body to lie in state, making the funeral arrangements and preps for the election of a successor, which is done 15 to 20 days after the Pope's death. The faithful can pay their respects to Francis within the 9-day mourning period at St. Peter's Square.
Do they have a special place that they bury or popes lie for or the inter? I mean, I know that they'll be
buried in the Vatican.
Is it in the Vatican?
I believe so.
All popes are buried in the Vatican?
I don't know if he's made any other wishes, but my understanding is that they're buried. Is it in St. Peter's Basilica?
I think it might be underneath.
Yeah.
The like entombed or so.
Their mausoleum.
What happened to the last guy?
Benedict, I want to say.
Around?
No, he died.
He did die, right?
Yeah, I want to say.
Oh, you can leave. You can leave.
He was the first
one in like 1,000 years.
To leave the papacy
before he died. Yes.
Wow, really?
So at
you
one
don't
time,
remember this?
Kind of, Jack. I mean, again, there's been no. I mean, I don't. I no reason for me to pay attention to it.
It was. I mean,
historic.
It was the historic news at the time because it was the first time in almost 1,000 years or so that it happened. Where he's just like, I'm out.
Yeah.
He felt like he was doing more harm than good. So for the first time in, like Jack said, almost 1,000 years, we had 2 popes living in the Vatican together.
That's nuts. The reason I ask is this, because I mean, I know that he was from Latin America or South America.
He's from Argentina.
Right? And I didn't know if he was buried in his home country. I mean, it would make perfect sense if you're from that area to be buried there, but I didn't realize there was a protocol that all popes are to lie and rest at Vatican City.
Of any organization on the planet, you will get the most protocol with the Catholic Church.
Okay,
I believe, like everything, like just he has to call out his name 3 times.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Burn the ring. Everything. There is a do not deviate from this written word.
I guess that's what happens when something's like 1,000 years old. You're like, I don't want to be the one to change it.
Exactly.
Well, closer to home, St. James Cathedral in Orlando rector Father Miguel Gonzalez outlines what local Catholics can expect over the next few days.
So this is a period of mourning, of masses, of prayers, but also after the funeral, then prepare to open the doors to the successor.
Orlando Diocese Bishop John Noonan said he's glad the Holy Father held off his passing until after Easter. Because, again, you just saw him on the balcony yesterday, and then you wake up today and find out he's passed.
He kind of timed it. If he was picking it, he might have picked that. Who knows? But I almost wish I watched Conclave on Saturday night instead of Enora.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, you've got 15 to 20 days to watch Conclave. All right, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says he and First Lady Casey DeSantis are saddened to hear of the Pope Francis's passing. In a statement, the governor said their thoughts and prayers go out to Catholics in Florida and around the world, and they hope for a smooth transition for the church. The governor added, quote, rest in peace, end quote. All right, thankfully, there are no reports of injuries after passengers on board a Delta flight had to escape on the tarmac using those emergency slides right here in Orlando.
Whee!
The Delta flight from Orlando to Atlanta was halted when flames shot out of an engine before takeoff at Orlando International Airport today. No word yet on the cause of the fire, but Orlando firefighters, they responded, got the engine fire put out, and passengers sliding down those socks.
Do they get something for that, you think?
Rug burn?
No. I'm saying, do you get a bonus ticket, or do you get a?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Because I know they flew them out on a different plane later that afternoon.
You have a airport fire department, right?
Yes.
It's not. It's not Orlando Fire Department.
Oh yeah, no, they have their own thing.
Now there are no reports of injuries. I don't know if you guys heard about this one. After passengers on board a Delta flight had to escape, or rather, no one is hurt after a Frontier flight this time from Orlando made a hard landing and lost a wheel in Puerto Rico. Reports say the plane briefly touched down before quickly shooting back up into the air last week.
Oh, man.
According to Puerto Rican newspaper El Nuevo Dia, one of the wheels broke off of the front landing gear, terrified the passengers so much video taken showed people making phone calls to their loved ones saying goodbye.
Damn.
So wait, it came down, the wheel came off, they took back up. Are they still up there?
No.
What's going on?
The plane circled the airport 4 times and then landed safely on a different runway, but over 220 passengers were on board.
Damn.
Very, very frightening.
Still doesn't mention that wheel, though. What do they do there? Just dig that thing in, I guess. Huh?
All right, Florida State University is trying to return to normal. Classes have resumed today, but the school is also offering students a chance of going remote. The school says it wants everyone to receive the support and help they need, and that means different things for different students. For some, the idea of community and gathering and focusing on academics may be beneficial, but there is no single right answer for everyone. So for those students who didn't feel safe returning to campus today, in the meantime, a petition launched by 2 students at Florida State University calls for locks on classrooms. Following last week's deadly shooting on the Tallahassee campus, the petition posted on change.org says not all classrooms are equipped with functional locks. In their petition, a student, Sarah Walker and Megan Bannister, says many of their classmates feared for their lives last week, and the absence of locks only amplified that fear. Remember the photos we saw on social media of kids just piling chairs against the door, just anything to try and stop an intruder from coming in. So far, how many petitions or signatures do you think the petition has collected? Of course, it was posted since last Thursday's shooting.
Oh, God, 20,000.
Jack?
Ooh.
You going to Sean?
Yeah. 20 plus 1.
30,000 signatures.
God,
Nailed it. Oh, man.
Did you guys hear the call that Amy Caulfield made to the News Junkie today regarding her student there?
No.
Very interesting. We're going to talk about it a little bit later. Here's why. Guess what the professor did when the shooting started?
I know what.
She packed up her S and left.
What? And left the students there by themselves?
Now, let me ask you a question. This is what we're going to talk about a little bit later as well. They're adults.
Yeah, that's true. They're over 18.
Are they owed leadership from a professor in a college classroom? Because they're all adults.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah. Anyway, that was a question a little bit later. Go ahead.
All right. Law enforcement agencies throughout Florida are being told to stop the arrest of illegal immigrants under a new state immigration law. The order from Florida Attorney General James Uthmeyer comes after a federal judge in Miami said on Friday that she was surprised to learn that arrests were continuing after she issued a ruling 2 weeks earlier.
This comes from the judge that just learned to read.
Earlier to pause the law. Democrat caucus leader Representative Fentrice Driscoll says that delay led to the unlawful detention of a U.S. citizen and says Floridians should be alarmed.
It should concern everyone when their government has decided that it can arrest and imprison anyone, regardless of court orders or the rule of law, or frankly, their status as a citizen.
Now, the law makes it a misdemeanor violation for undocumented migrants to enter or re-enter the state. Immigrant rights groups are suing to block the law, saying it's unconstitutional. But as of today, the AG is ordering state law enforcement agencies to stop arresting undocumented migrants. A resentencing trial is kicking off today. Why do we waste our money on this stuff?
I don't get this either. I saw this today, and I do not understand it other than the severity of it.
Well, a resentencing trial is kicking off today for 2 men convicted of killing 6 people in Deltona over 20 years ago. You, of course, know this story if you've been here for a while, as the Xbox murders. Yeah, Jerome Hunter and Troy Victorino had their death sentences overturned due to a change in Florida law. Now, it requires death penalty cases to be resentenced if the decision was not unanimous. Authorities say the pair and a couple other people broke into a house after the girl had Victorino evicted for squatting. It was her grandparents' house. Victorino also reportedly wanted to get back clothes and an Xbox he left in the house. Jury selection is underway.
And they went in to get it back with a baseball bat and a machete, apparently, right?
Yeah, exactly. Even if you were hiding in closets or under the bed, they went in there to find you. And that's what I don't understand. This is such a waste of resources.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense, but it's going on anyway. All right, a brush fire is responsible for a brief evacuation in Lake County. Man, it's getting crispy out there. The Florida Forest Service announced yesterday the catamaran wildfire in Eustis off Botany Woods Drive is 100% contained. That's good news. But an evacuation order was issued at one point as the fire spread to 35 acres, but that order was lifted an hour later. No one was hurt and no buildings were damaged. There's no word on how the fire started, but regardless, drought conditions are expected to get worse across Central Florida this week.
No rain for 10 days.
Yeah, like you
There
said.
is literally no rain in the
no
forecast
rain.
for 10 more days.
The forecast calls for hot, dry weather. Like Jimmy just said, almost non-existent chance of rain. Now we're getting highs in the 90s. Today, temperatures reaching upper 80s across the region. A few areas seeing temps in the 90s, like the I-75 corridor. But, of course, we're just heading into surface of the sun time.
I ran my irrigation system a little bit this weekend just to make sure that it was still running. And, of course, we have a massive it's a gigantic irrigation system because the yard is big. And I could hear the grass screaming, thank you.
Thank you. All right, the average price for a gallon of regular gas in Florida is $2.99.
I paid $2.96 yesterday.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
wow,
yeah.
it's
Oh,
almost
yeah.
like Jack prices from when he used to fill up back in the day.
Yeah.
AAA reports that's down 10 cents from a week ago. The Auto Club says the downward trend may not continue much longer, though. Oil prices moved higher last week. The current national average is $3.15 a gallon.
There you go.
And then finally, spring skies bring sky watching spectacles as the annual Lyrid Meteor Shower is underway. The meteors are actually flying trails of debris left behind by a comet, and that showers the Earth each year in the third week of April. NASA says the meteor shower will reach its peak tonight, going into the early morning hours of Tuesday. Now, depending on the weather and sky conditions, viewers could see up to 15 to 20 shooting stars per hour.
Damn, that's cool.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Man, I remember I got into a situation out in Geneva where there was one of these showers, and we went out there at the perfect time. And
It's amazing.
It was, I tell you what it's like. It's just like giant lightning bugs.
Yeah.
Like shooting across the sky. Some of them would be so bright, they look fake. Like they were, and they would last. Like we had one last like 3 full seconds, which is a lifetime because usually it's just kind of a flash.
It is. Yeah, we did this once years and years and years ago. My best friend, coworker, went out, somewhere Lake County, laid on the side of the road watching the meteor shower when some guy comes out of the woods. His name was Gator and asked if we wanted mushrooms. Only in Florida. Only in Florida.
Tell me where this gator is.
Experts say to look east after dark. You may catch a glimpse of a meteor streaking across the night sky from now until April 26th. And the good news is astronomers say no special equipment is required to observe this meteor shower. All you need is clear weather, dark sky, and about 30 minutes for your eyes to adjust to the dark.
Yep.
And then let the meteors rip.
And the cool thing is you can even catch them with your peripheral vision because, I mean, they're so bright, it'll draw your attention. So one of the things is you just have to look in the most expansive part of the sky that your peripheral can see either way, and that's when you'll see the most of them. And you'll get super mad because you'll see one on the left, you'll look over there, and it's gone by then.
Right, exactly.
And that one that's right in front, boy, that's a good one.
Just get, do like teabag, grab a lawn chair, and just go sit out back.
And it's fascinating how fast they go. When you think about how much space the one that we had that lasted 3 seconds, it covered so much space. I'm like, that thing, I think they're going like 17,000 miles an hour or something like that, right?
I believe so, yeah. So it'd be cool to see. And that concludes your JCS News. Wow.
407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Bills is your 3 o'clock keyword. It's good for about another 25 minutes or so. Get over to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance. At $1,000, we're bringing it back. We're going to tell you all about Boozy Brunch next.
This weekend, Real Radio 104.1 smells like the 90s.
You tell me that you love me so. You tell me that you care. But when I need you, baby, you're never there.
Classic alternative this weekend on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
Happy Monday, Central Florida. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your forecast. And for today, we're going to be expecting a partly to mostly sunny sky. Temperatures will be on the hot side with an afternoon high of right around 89 degrees today in Orlando. As we look ahead towards the rest of this week, highs in the low 90s are to be expected as early as tomorrow. We'll see a good amount of dry time as well. We need the rain, but we really don't have any chances in sight until possibly late parts of the weekend. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
And the real estate market is always changing now more than ever. And of course, real estate markets are a very local thing. And that's true as it gets, man. Here in Central Florida, we're kind of in a bubble, right? So your house is probably worth more than it would be if it was in Evansville, Indiana, for a good reason. Central Florida is awesome. Nobody knows that better than the Nickley Group. This is an elite team of realtors here to do one thing and one thing only: get you the house of your dreams or sell your house for as much money as you could possibly extract from it. That is the deal. Here's why. That's your biggest asset. You want to make sure that you cash out as well as possible, and the Nickley Group can do that, getting about 6% on average more than their competitors for your home, and even better, getting that money twice as fast. And if you're a buyer, I will tell you guys, nobody knows these markets and these neighborhoods better than the Nickley Group. They can dial in exactly what you're looking for that next dream house. This is what they do. Number one real estate team in all of Central Florida, 4,000 five-star reviews with over 4,500 homes sold. And when you throw in their VIP program, it's almost unfair to other realtors. Free appraisals, free home warranties, free moving trucks and supplies. That's just where it begins. And even better, on their website, if you want to deal with any of that other stuff, get a guaranteed cash offer for your house. The Nickleys will do that right there on the website. No showings, no open houses, and you can close in as little as 14 days. It's the NickleyGroup.com. That's NICKLEY Group.com.
Future health weight loss.
Want to lose 10 pounds by next month? You need to go to futurehealth.com for easy, fast, and affordable access to weight loss meds like Ozempic, Zepbound, and pill options if you don't like injections. A new report proves Future Health users get 58% better results than meds alone, and with fewer side effects. We know you'd rather lose 45 pounds easily and keep it off than only 30 pounds by yourself and gain it all back. The meds eliminate hunger and cravings, while Future Health handles the rest. Easy. Plus, the best part? You don't need insurance. It's all done online with their licensed clinicians and fast pharmacy deliveries. Take the 3-minute quiz at futurehealth.com, get approved, and start losing weight this week. Visit futurehealth.com. That's futurehealth.com. Future without the E.
Future health weight loss.
Data based on independent study sponsored by Future Health. Future Health is not a healthcare services provider. Meds are prescribed at provider's discretion.
Hush, little baby, yes, you can. Mama's gonna buy you a prepaid plan. And with that Florida prepaid plan, Mama's gonna send you to college land. And when you're free to pursue your dreams, Mama's gonna watch your future beam.
With a Florida 529 prepaid plan, you can save for your little one's future. Plans start at $29 a month. Open enrollment ends April 30th.
Allergies are torture, but Exact from Aspire Allergy and Sinus can help you beat your allergies for good. Exact is clinically proven to give long-term lasting allergy relief in 3 injections. That's right, allergy relief in 3 injections. No matter how long you've suffered, no matter what else you've tried, with 3 injections, you can experience relief from your allergies. Exact from Aspire Allergy and Sinus. Go to aspireallergy.com to book your appointment today. aspireallergy.com.
Hey everybody, Jim Colbert here, and I've got great news. The Filatowski Eye Institute is now offering a free LASIK exam to see if you're a candidate, plus $500 off each eye when you elect a procedure. That's $1,000 off your surgery, but it's for a limited time only. Ditch those glasses because this offer won't last. Simply dial pound 250 and say better vision. That way you can schedule your appointment today. That's pound 250 and say better vision. The Filatowski Eye Institute. Trusted, local, life-changing.
Spring is here. The perfect season to give your aging roof the attention it deserves. Florida's highest rated roofer is here to help. Experience the Janney difference and save up to $2,000 this season. Join a community of thousands of happy homeowners.
To go ahead and do it right the first time so that you don't have to hire another company to fix what the company should have done right. And I feel like that's Janney Roofing.
Get started at JanneyRoofing.com.
Offer only applies on full roof replacement and expires May 31st, 2025.
Ray Trunley here. Call TK Law today to learn about how our collaboratively trained attorneys can build a team that avoids the stress of litigation. No court battles, just solutions. OneFirmForLife.com.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show.
Wow, I learned a new word today, canonized. I thought that happened on a pirate ship when you were really bad and they wanted to give you something worse than keel hauling. Silly me.
Hey, JC and gang. There's nothing like a Cadbury cream egg, a cup of coffee. After you finish it, you sit in your favorite easy chair and just twitch for an hour and a half. Good times.
What up, guys? Sport from Duval.
Duval.
I apologize for this terrible story, but speaking of Cadbury eggs, we had an aunt when we were teenagers. We used to go visit up in North Carolina for Easter. And she didn't like chocolate, but we went up there one year and she had a basket of Cadbury eggs, about 10 eggs. And they all had holes in the top of them. She poked holes in them and sucked the cream out of these eggs.
Oh, my God.
And then gave them to us to eat. It was just... My mom said, we're not going up there no more, and we never did again.
She'd take the top off, just put the tongue in, and blah, 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 blah.
There was a chocolate company that made those eggs, but the cream inside was infused with, like, bourbon. And then one was infused with another kind of Grand Marnier or something. It was kind of like those little liquor bottles you used to get.
Oh, yeah. I had those this year for the first time in a long time. Those mini liquor bottles
with the alcohol inside them.
That's a good time.
This was like an egg, about half the size of a Cadbury egg, and the cream inside was infused with some liquor. Whatever the flavor was. Not bad. Not bad.
Oh, that you like?
Yeah, that not bad. What? It's got liquor. All right, welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. Bills is your 3 o'clock keyword, BILLS. Get over to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. I'm Jim. There's Deb.
Hello.
Jack is here as well.
Yeah.
All right, look, we're super excited to bring this back. We really are, because in 2015, when I started Primetime Kitchen, which was my podcast about the food business here in Central Florida, like just good eats, started it with the beautiful Heather McPherson, formerly the restaurant reviewer and food critic for the Orlando Sentinel. And then moved on to our buddy Fayez Cara, who is now the restaurant critic and food critic for the Orlando Weekly. We started doing these things called Boozy brunches. We wanted a way to contact the people that we were talking to about this and show them some of the places that we were talking about in a fun and exciting way. And we've done that again. This time we're doing it with a Beard-nominated restaurateur, Jason Chen, and his wife Sue at Osprey in downtown Baldwin Park. Now, if you haven't been, I strongly suggest one of the better seafood restaurants in the city, and I don't know that you'll find many better oysters in the city than at Jason. He has a small obsession with it. And we are going to have a Boozy brunch May 4th from 11 till 2. You show up, right? And for your price, you get pastries for the table, oysters for the table, shrimp for the table. You get a choice of your entree from the brunch menu, and a burlesque show, and trivia for prizes, and games for prizes, and celebrity impersonators. It just goes on and on.
A couple other things you forgot.
Well, what? I'm not done.
3 important things. All right, you go.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Please.
The drinks.
Yes.
And then the 2 most important things.
Me and you?
Yep.
That's right, baby. So it'll be hosted by Jack and myself. Yeah, including with that, you get 3 you get 3 drinks. They're doing like basically it's mimosas, they're doing sangrias, and they're doing a house punch. They will not tell me what's in it, but I know that Jason's crazy about tequila.
Oh, wow.
So this is going to be so much fun. If you ask anybody who went to our Boozy brunches back in the day, it was a standing room only scenario, because I'm telling you, Corsets and Cuties comes out, and by the way, I know who the burlesque champ is as well. It's the woman who won the burlesque show for the Monsters this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, she's awesome.
She's going to be our burlesque, our female burlesque presenter.
Whoa!
Because there may be other burlesque presenters as well.
Are you going to do burlesque, Jimmy?
Jimmy.
Are you going to do burlesque?
Probably. I'll come out there and pull my pants down a little bit. I mean, if you buy a ticket, you deserve to see,
Mr. Peanut.
Yeah. So it is going to be a blast. Tickets are $85. You can go to realradio.fm/brunch It'll bring you right to the page. You can click there and grab your ticket. We only have...
I was going to say, how many seats are there? Because this is something you probably don't want to wait on.
We do have a limited seating. I think we have 100 tickets available right now.
That's it.
And this is going to be one of those things where when you spend your money, you come in. It's not just eating. It's eating and it's being entertained for 3 straight hours. You're going to get burlesque. We're going to run games. And I can't tell you the games because I don't want you to practice, but they're fun restaurant games where we get couples up and task them to do something together. And then we're going to do feisty trivia. Sarah's coming out to do a little trivia game for us for some prizes.
She does a great time.
We're going to have so much free stuff to give away. One-off Jim Colbert Show hats that we never released to the public.
Ooh.
I've got a few of those. Cigars from Corona, all that fun stuff. Radio station prizes as well. So, again, just go to realradio.com/brunch. and get your tickets today. $85 a person. And here's what I also suggest. If you're coming as a group, that it's 4 to a table for the most part in there. So if you have 2 or 3 people you want to come with or a couple that you want to come with, make sure when you book, you just kind of come together.
Right.
That way that when they walk into the restaurant, they can make sure you're all seated together. It is going to be so much fun. And in the background the entire time, Captain Jack.
Really?
Captain Jack. With a nice yacht rock selection in the background.
Oh, he's got to wear his captain's hat and nothing else.
I do now.
You don't have to. You don't have to. But I know you wore it all out.
I will.
Yeah, I was going to say, you wore it at the bowling tournament. So we hope to see all of you guys who, really kind of look to connect with us. We are trying to get out there as much as possible. You know, once the taco event was so difficult to pull off, just couldn't get anybody to make that happen for us. We wanted to kind of bring something back where we could go out and have a good time and everybody could kind of connect, have a good time and enjoy themselves. And of course, you guys know how I am when it comes to you spending money. We want you to have the best bang for the buck. And this is one of those things where we feel like you're getting a really good deal for the money. 3 cocktails, oyster, shrimp, pastries, and the entree, plus all the entertainment as well. It's going to be a blast, and we just can't wait to do it. We're so excited to bring this back, and I don't think we could have done it with a better couple than with the guys over at Good Salt, Jason and Sue, and a restaurant like this, because you can see wherever you are in the restaurant, you'll be able to see the entertainment and what's going on, and you'll be able to hear everything, and it's just going to be a blast. We got the entire place to ourselves, too, guys.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you have to have some pull to be able to get a James Beard nominated restaurant all to yourself.
We get the whole place to ourselves. By the way, the bar will be open as well. So if you want to also add on to that, he's got one of the best selections of tequila in all of Orlando. Some of the best bartenders in all of Orlando. This is when I say the word proper restaurant,
right?
This is a proper restaurant. In other words, from the minute you walk in until the minute you leave, you're going to be super served. The food is going to be unbelievable. The cocktails are going to be unbelievable. The setting is unreal. Downtown Baldwin is absolutely startling beautiful.
So even though, you're not expecting people to come in, suits and stuff like that, you're going to want to dress nice.
You know what we say? Casual Sunday.
There you go.
Casual Sunday.
Like you're going to a nice brunch somewhere. You want to look your best but still be comfortable.
That's it. You want to be, honestly, that's exact. Jack and I were talking about this very thing. He was also very concerned.
Yeah, flip-flop shorts, tank top.
Exactly. You don't want someone in a Who Farted t-shirt.
We would not. We would prefer no Who Farted t-shirt.
I'm with stupid.
Yeah. You know what it's like? I will tell you exactly what it's like. You know when you are on a cruise and you go to that captain's cocktail party and you wear a nice shirt and maybe a pair of shorts that match it or something like that? You could do that. No problem whatsoever.
Right.
But
no flip-flops.
Yeah, no flops and no, Dale Jr. t-shirts.
Right, exactly. No baseball caps.
Dale Jr. button-ups are fine. But again, it's realradio.fm/brunch. Go and grab your tickets. We're super excited about it. It's May 4th. And it'll be Jack, myself. We'll be hosting.
Oh, May the 4th be with you.
Sarah from Feisty Trivia. You never know who's going to be there. Fiaz may show up. You really don't know. We'll be adding on to this as we go. But this is the first initial offering.
So do we know if Jack is going to also do burlesque with his captain's hat?
I don't know what Jack is going to do.
Don't you worry about it.
Jack,
people who are there will know.
Jack showed me a selection of fishnet T-shirts that he had picked out for the event.
Awesome.
Yeah. Nipples cut out. Nipples are out showcasing. He's showcasing the nips.
You better come up with a plan, Colbert.
All right, 407.
Challenge is on.
916-1041. Back in a sec with more of the Jim Colbert Show.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Traffic remains backed up on I-4 this afternoon in the Orlando area, east and westbound between US 27 and World Drive, and between Osceola Parkway and Central Florida Parkway. Delays also reported between State Road 46 and the St. Johns River Bridge. If you come across any other traffic problems today, just make sure you're calling the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Yeah, we're not even going to pretend. This is a straight-up bribe. We're talking $1,000 in your hand. Use the cash to pay off that credit card you forgot about. Take a trip or buy some indica dominant hybrid known for its body-numbing effects. Because weed is legal in Florida, right? Anyway, bottom line, we want you to listen to Real Radio and you want money. So here's the deal. 13 keywords a day. Enter them at realradio.fm. And here is the important part. Answer your phone if we call. We're shameless. You're broke. Let's do this. This national contest brought to you locally by Mills Air.
Mills Air, been in business since 1992. That's over 30 years. Carrier factory authorized dealer. Rebates up to $1,275 for brand new Carrier units. Turn to the experts. Carrier. And you can always turn to the experts at millsair.com.
Right now during the Jeep Celebration event, well-qualified current FCA lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Laredo 4x2 for $369 a month for 36 months with $3,999 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra. No security deposit required. Call 1-888-925-JEEP for details. Requires dealer contribution and lease through Stellantis Financial. Current vehicle must be registered to consumer at least 30 days prior to lease to qualify. Extra charge for miles over 30,000. Not all customers will qualify. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 4/30. Jeep is a registered trademark.
Baseball is all about stepping up to the plate when it matters most. And when you've been injured, you need a heavy hitter in your corner. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crush Yard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
What is the cost of doing nothing? I don't know about you, but these months are the highest power bills of the year, and it's making me think about the years I spent without Solar Source. I'm so glad I finally have Solar Source. I started with the pool heated solar, and I love it. Thrilled that Solar Source now has a pay-as-you-go system where I can save each month starting at just $99. Want to add the battery backup system for your home? Our pay-as-you-go plan works the same. Start with a small battery that provides critical backup power for your lights and your refrigerator, and then it does all these small loads, and then you could stack them and add more energy as time goes on. It's Solar Source.
Kevin, why is my auto insurance so expensive? I need to switch because my company raised my rates again.
I hear you, Jay. I had the same problem, but then I called Acceptance. They saved me hundreds on my car insurance.
Really?
Yes, Acceptance was great. They did all the work comparing different plans and found me the best payment options that fit my budget.
Do you have their number?
Sure do. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049.
Why pay more for auto insurance? Acceptance Insurance has offices in your neighborhood, and one call to Acceptance could save you up to 30% on your car insurance. 800-606-7049. Let Acceptance shop for you. By comparing and finding the best rates, you could save up to 30%. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049. Restrictions apply based on Q1 2024 study of Acceptance Insurance customers who reported saving when they switched. License number L012294.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news if you're considering a reverse mortgage. Rates have improved again this week. Get a same-day quote at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
With thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of over 40 Greenway dealerships vying for your car when you trade it in at Greenway Kia. When dealerships compete, you win. We're offering as much as $10,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your trade. Curious what your trade's worth? Check it out now at greenwaykias.com. We want to see you in a Kia. From Greenway Kia, with 3 area locations to serve you. All factory rebates to dealer, negative equity refinanced.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment changeouts and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
Eustace Roofing. New roof, no mess.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Got questions after an accident? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeartRadio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free, new and improved iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Fun. F-U-N. Fun. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show.
So I hear Jim saying, yeah, there's no forecasted rain for the next 10 days. And I feel like saying right after it, one of my favorite TikTok guys go, yep, love it. Did you know that that special smell that you smell when we get rain or irrigation system gets turned on to a really, really dry yard is actually called petrichor? Well, now you do. Bye.
What's up, Colbert Show?
What up, dude?
I highly recommend the Stingray Solar Bear game tonight. I went Saturday night, and that was one of the best, if not the best, hockey game I ever been to.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good day. Adios.
Adios.
Woohoo! Hey, how's it, everyone? Yes, the Pope that just passed away, Francis, requested something more simple than the burial underneath the Vatican grottos at St. Peter's. He has requested a very simple burial in the Basilica of St. Mary Major, which is a very simple grotto outside of the Vatican walls.
Wow.
Aloha.
Yeah, aloha, brother. Yeah, I read that a little bit earlier. One of the reasons I asked is because I thought that he had requested a certain burial that wasn't in line with other popes, and I didn't know why.
That's so Francis.
Yeah.
It is.
You should have a bracelet that says, that's so Francis.
Austere to the end.
Yeah. All right, welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show. Fun is your 4 o'clock keyword, F-U-N. Go to realradio.fm and send that off for your chance at $1,000. Fun, guys. That is your 4 o'clock keyword. Good luck. We hope you win for sure.
It'd be so fun if you won.
It would be. Welcome back. I'm Jim. There's Deb.
Hello.
Jack is here as well.
Yeah.
Of course, we'll be talking throughout the day about the passing of the Pope. I did want to ask this one question, like I stated during news, during Amy Caulfield's phone call to the News Junkie. And, of course, she calls them every week. She works with Fox 35 in their morning show. She's one of the best. If you've never met her, I strongly suggest going to anything that she's a member of and meeting her. She's like fake sweet. She's fake nice, but it's genuine. But she could not be a sweeter person and a better mom. And she brings that alive. I think one of the reasons she's one of the foremost anchors here in Orlando is because she is so forthright with her personal life. You can go to her Facebook pages and see everything she's doing. She doesn't try to hide anything or hide behind the facade of being a television personality or anything like that. She was telling a story about her kid being up at Florida State when the shooting happened last week. Her and a friend. Matter of fact, I think I told you guys this during one of the breaks that she was supposed to go to class with her friend. She skipped that class to take it online instead.
Really?
And it turns out that their class had to shelter in a classroom with no locks. That's kind of why this legislation or this petition has kind of risen up, is simply because they found out that a lot of those doors did not have locks, where the students could just go up, lock the door, at least give themselves a shot, no pun intended, or a chance against somebody who'd be doing some stupid stuff. But the story was, is that teacher, once she heard the alert or whatever, just packed her bag up and walked right out of the class. And at first you think about that and you're like, wow, man, really? Wow, really? But like, these are adults. Like, this is a college class. These are adults. I mean, they're 18, 19, maybe even 20-year-old people. So I was wondering out loud, like, I mean, look, it's a bad look. I think we can certainly say it's a bad look, but
absolutely.
But is that one of those things that's like, is that a fireable offense? Or do college students look to the professors the way that high school students look to their teachers? Is it the same relationship?
It is not.
It's not, is it?
But you're looking for a leader. Are you a leader of a group? And if you're a leader, you don't abandon ship.
You don't abandon ship.
Well, now hold on. Let's stop for a second. A leader or just a professor? Because, like, I don't know, but when I was in college, I looked at my professors as teachers. I didn't really look to them for life advice or guidance as a person. I was a grown man. I drove there. You know what I'm saying? So, I didn't look at it that way. Although, like I said, I do think it's a terrible look. I don't know that she did anything wrong. I mean, it's wrong, but...
Not a good look.
I you know what? I picture my daughter, who is a college student now. If she was in a classroom and the teacher just like hopped out the window and left, I would like to think that my daughter is going to a school where the instructor, the professor, would at least take some control over the situation in your classroom,
right?
And kind of, be the, for lack of a better word, the adult or the grown up. Yes, they're all over 18, but still, they're kids.
You'd like to think, well, going forward, how much confidence are those students going to have in that professor? I mean, for just about anything and everything.
I guess depending on what you look at them for. But like, my thing would be this, like, here's how, if I was arguing this as a parent who had a student in that class, even though the student may have been 18, 19, maybe even 20 years old, the argument I would make is this. I think the student body certainly does look at the professors and the teachers as having being taught protocol for when something like this could happen. That's what I would think for sure. Like, I wouldn't, and even though I am an adult, even though I'm sure it's in the guidelines of that school or whatever school your kid may be at, whether it be UCF or Florida State or Florida, that somewhere in that handbook, there has to be a paragraph or a chapter on here's what we do if we discover a live shooter on campus and then do that. Then
they have live shooter drills.
Yeah, and that's my point is I would think that if you're going there and maybe you didn't get that information, you would look to that professor as at least knowing the protocol when something like that happens rather than just packing up and hauling ass, which I think is, when you think about it, it is kind of comically dark comedy funny. Like pop, and this is like, I'm out. Like,
good luck, y'all.
You guys are, good luck.
Good luck, God bless, thoughts and prayers. But,
she writes it on the board.
Exactly. Thoughts and
Today's
prayers.
lessons about thoughts and prayers.
But I do know, along with that change.org petition that we talked about during JCS News about getting locks on the doors, getting over 30,000 signatures, the other half of that was making sure that professors know what to do, because there was another class where their professor was remote, I think like from Sweden. And, you have all these kids in a classroom and the professor's half the world away and there's no guidance. Okay, this is what we were taught, kids. This is what you need to do. So there was none of that.
Right.
This served as an example of, okay, there's some glaring areas we need to address before we have to, hopefully not, face this again.
If I was a professor at that point, and again, I mean, I'm different because I've been around guns and stuff as a kid, and I've been around guns now. I mean, I know a little bit about them, but I still don't know how much of your class would look at you for guidance like that. But I mean, the least I would probably do is go, hey, let's bar that door up. Blah, 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 blah. Let's do this. Get to an area where they can't see you. Let's make sure this door is nice and shut. Something. I wouldn't know if I just pack up my book bag and go, peace, see y'all tomorrow. I don't think I could do that. I don't know if there's going to be any disciplinary action. If this is, if the story is what she says it was, is that the teacher really didn't have much to say and just kind of packed up and left and said, you guys are on your own. Good luck.
Well,
but that person's trying to save their life as well,
But again, if you look at what even happened with the school resource officer, Scott Peterson, in the Parkland shooting, he was found civilly liable, but he faced no criminal charges. There was no, even though he's a sworn law enforcement officer.
And his job was not to teach.
His job was a school resource officer.
That is still insane to me.
He still had no obligation to run in there and confront the gunman, which he's found in the criminal court. So I can't imagine this professor getting anything more than maybe even a stern talking to, if that.
Maybe censure of some sort. But I mean, once you're, we don't know if they were tenured or not, but once you're tenured as a college professor, I mean, it is really difficult to get fired, is it not?
Well, I would
that has always been the case, as far as I understand it.
Yeah, once you get tenure at a college, once you're there long enough, you're pretty much almost you're a barnacle at that point. I think it takes a really an egregious a lapse of judgment to get let go.
But I don't know if that's different from state to state, because I thought Florida was kind of pushing back on some of that.
Yeah.
Well, somebody just texted us at 77031. My daughter is a professor at UCF. She says that's definitely against protocol and completely immoral.
Yeah. I agree 100%.
I do too.
It is immoral. It's a terrible look. But again, because they're adults and not children really leaning on you for guidance or protection at that level, you're there to teach a class. I didn't know at what level the responsibility stretched at this level of education. Again, adult talking to adult, not a child.
That's why I don't think they would do censure without there being like a set protocol in place that all professors agree to. I think it would send a chilling signal to censure one, with everyone going, well, wait a minute. What was even the policy that they...
Yeah. They would also have to set a tone for what would be expected after that, though, right? Like you were saying, if you were to censure somebody for doing something like that, then the collective faculty would have to say, well, then what's the call? Then what do we do then? Do we have to stay in there? Do we have to lock ourselves in the class and protect these kids like mother chicken hens kind of thing? I mean, what is the protocol then? And even though they do have a on-campus shooter dialogue, I'm sure, I don't know where that stops or where it begins or what it covers or does not cover, I mean, I'm sure we have some people who teach out at UCF, like your friend here. But I mean, that's a UCF policy. I don't know if it's like your Jack said, if you get state funding or if you get a subsidy from the state, which I'm sure all major colleges here, even the public schools do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to adhere to some of that for sure. I don't know what it is. And is it set by the feds or the state?
State.
It would be the state? Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on that, man. I haven't seen anything in the news about it. I just heard it this morning when I was listening to Sean's show coming in, and I found that to be a fascinating argument, just simply because of the state of you, where you are as a human. I mean, because at that point you have to ask, when am I responsible for myself? I mean, at what age do you feel responsible for yourself? Is it 18? Is it 17? Jack, do you remember when you felt responsible for yourself?
I was mid-20s, maybe.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, buddy, I'm not far away from that.
Mid-40s.
Look, I mean,
I don't know. Looking back, it's easy to look back to think, oh, wow, I was just a dumb kid. But, when I was kind of free range as a teenager, so I felt like I could do anything, and I kind of acted that way, But when I look back, I'm like, oh, what a dope.
Yeah. No. But seriously, I mean, you and I aren't cut far from the same cloth, buddy. I mean, you and I were probably pretty self-efficient at 15 years old. Deborah, I would think you're probably the same way.
Yeah. Careful.
You could move it around your own 15 years old. If I was thrown out at 15, I could have made it. Like I left home at 17. And even though I moved down here to live with my dad, I still left everything I knew at 17 years old. But I don't know. I probably did not feel the release of my family until I was in my early 20s when I moved out to get my first apartment. Other than that, I always kind of felt under their wing. What do you think? What do you think the average of that is in our audience? The average of when they thought that they were self-providing, thinking adults that didn't really rely on their parents or any other input in their life. Probably 19, 20 years old, 21. Do you think it's going to be younger than that?
What generation?
Well.
It's not this new one.
No, I think if we put it up in the YouTube chat, it would be an older generation. But
Gen X.
I'm boycotting the YouTube chat right now.
Oh, you really? Who made you mad in there?
One of them.
Who is it?
Well, I went in there.
What'd they say?
Listen. I can't access our text service. And this is the first time in the history of the text service that I can't see it, and it's weird.
Oh yeah, it is.
So I was looking for companionship, so I slid up. I slid up in the YouTube chat.
I love this. I love every syllable of
I
this.
slid up in the YouTube chat.
Yeah.
And then a couple of them, including like Arnott, got a little saucy, and they're like, "Well, we don't like the fact that you're just like slumming here." You know,
really? They called you out?
Well, yeah. At least one of them did. Arnott.
So Jack's mad at the entire service.
Yeah, so I left.
Because one knucklehead came at him and says, I'm out of here. I'm taking my bow and I'm getting the Blake out of here.
I mean, I didn't shut down the stream. We actually had pretty good numbers today.
Very good. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Your 4 o'clock keyword is fun, guys. F-U-N. Go to realradio.fm and send that off for your chance at $1,000. Back with our buddy Brandon Kravitz in sports right after this.
Something on your mind? Text us at 77031. Standard data and message rates apply. Real Mobile is powered by Orange Buick GMC and OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
Delays continue in the usual spots on I-4 this afternoon in the Orlando area for those traveling east and westbound from the beach line all the way down through Champions Gate. Beginning to see some slow traffic now on the turnpike just south of the Greenway. Things also getting a bit slower for those traveling through downtown on the 408. If you come across any traffic problems, just make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code radio for an extra 5% off.
Look, man, when it comes to getting a roof, sometimes you can be a little sketched out. Some companies out there doing some sideways stuff, but not this one. This is Eustace Roofing. And here's how you know they're not doing anything sideways, right? They've been in business since 1959, 65 years, bringing you really nice roofs to protect you and your family. They've been doing it for that level at the highest quality, too. In 2021, these guys are actually the National Roofing Company of the Year, 4.9 Google rating with over 1,000 reviews. You can't get better. The minute they get on your property, you'll know that. Also, they run the cleanest work site you've ever seen in your life. No interest financing, serving all of Central Florida, and they are metal roofing experts, which means they manufacture that roof right there on site. They can even satisfy your insurance carrier by either cleaning or rejuvenating your roof, adding years to it. Just get with these guys and get that free estimate. It's EustaceRoofing.com. Again, that's EustaceRoofing.com.
Look ahead with the team at TK Law to plan your family's future. Visit OneFirmForLife.com.
Mom and Dad seem different after a European-style holiday on MSC Cruises.
Call us Cloud and Yvette.
The ship had restaurants, shops, and nightlife.
La Galleria.
And of course, American touches, like an aqua park and a sweets shop.
American je ne sais quoi.
Mom, you're from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, Kevin.
Book now and save up to 30% off, plus kids sale free.
MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
Hey guys, not feeling like yourself? Visit Game Day Men's Health, one of the nation's largest men's health clinics, specializing in testosterone replacement therapy, ED treatments, medical weight loss, and shockwave therapy, with locations in Winter Park, Lake Mary, and downtown. They can create a customized game plan for you. Set up your free testosterone test and consultation. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Mention 104.1 and get a second service free when you buy one. Game Day Men's Health, helping men perform and feel their best.
I'm Patrick. I was injured in a motorcycle accident. I hired one of the lawyers I heard all the time on the radio. He told me the only insurance I could recover was $10,000. Then I called attorney Glenn Klausman. With Glenn Klausman as my attorney, less than a month later, I had a check for a whole lot more money. Car, truck, or motorcycle accident? Call Glenn Klausman at Klausman Law. That's KLAUSMAN law.com. Office, Winter Park.
Mornings are unpredictable. But West 2 News Sunrise can get your day started on the right track.
We have team coverage this morning
with breaking news and what's happening now.
Breaking this morning, investigators.
Central Florida's most accurate weather forecast.
Central Florida is under a first warning severe weather warning day.
And up-to-the-minute traffic to simplify your morning commute.
Impacting traffic exiting at that ramp this morning.
Jason, Meredith, Sonica, Kellyanne, and Megan. West 2 News Sunrise, starting at 4:30 a.m.
No one takes you into Hollywood like Access Hollywood.
love it. The biggest stars on the red carpet.
What do you expect?
The hottest trends.
Very modern.
Dominating your feeds. And the artists and athletes shaping pop culture. From awards season to every season.
Here at Yankee Stadium.
Kid Scout Zuri and I are giving you all the access you want.
Are you kidding?
Hey, Mario Lopez here. Please join me for Access Hollywood tonight at 7:30 on West 2.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to goodrx.com/GLP. That's goodrx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Hey Orlando, Joe Rossi here from Greenway Kia. By now, you've heard about the auto tariffs, but at Greenway Kia, we planned ahead. We've been stocking up on new Kias at all 3 locations. Drive home the new Kia you want tariff-free. Like new 2025 Kia Sorento SUVs for only $179 per month for 24 months with 0 security deposit. We want to see you in a Kia. Visit greenwaykias.com.
Qualified applicants through KFA include $650 acquisition fee, 10,000 miles per year, $49.95 at inception, plus tax, title, license, $899 dealer, and $249.50 fee. Expires 5/5/25.
Roundup Dual Action products rock like a hardcore metal band. This stuff kills existing weeds down to the root, and for an encore, keeps them from coming back for up to 4 months. That's a non-stop 16-week tour of killing and preventing weeds in all the famous outdoor venues, the patio, the driveway, the mulch bed, even along the fence. When it comes to your hardscapes and landscapes, the stuff puts on a show. Roundup Dual Action products kill and prevent weeds for up to 4 months. This stuff rocks. This stuff works. When used as directed, always read and follow pesticide label directions.
Here's what's trending now on the new and improved iHeartRadio app.
This is going to be an episode you can't miss. Deepak Chopra drops some mind-blowing wisdom on Purpose with Jay Shetty. And I got to be honest, it might change the way you think. Plus, Julianne Hough spills iconic advice she got from the one and only Dolly Parton on Post Run High. Plus, Clay Matthews joins Lots to Say, and he's got a lot to say about beekeeping. Yeah, you heard that right.
Explore the latest. Open the free iHeartRadio app and see what's trending now.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese. Real Radio. Real Radio. 104.1.
There you go. You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show.
Yo.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. We announced today that the Boozy brunch is on, guys, May 4th, right there at the Osprey. Beard-nominated owners over there have allowed us to come in and take the restaurant over for a few hours to provide you with what is going to be a freaking blast. Hosted by Jack and myself. You get 3 drinks. You get oysters, shrimp, entree from the menu, plus entertainment from Corsets and Cuties, including burlesque, trivia, celebrity impersonators. Feisty Trivia is going to be there with prizes. It is going to be a blast. Go to realradio.fm/brunch to grab your tickets. They're already selling fast.
I appreciate the effort, but I would like to request second billing. So you would say hosted by me and Jack instead of Jack and myself.
Okay. Well, that's part of what we're doing for the entertainment, Jack.
It's going to be so much fun. Wow.
Easy. We got to pull the blinds down for that portion.
Well, definitely bring that captain's hat.
All right. Welcome back. I'm Jim. Fun is your 4 o'clock keyword, F-U-N. Go to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. I'm Jim. There's Deb.
Hello.
Jack is here as well.
Yo.
Every single Monday around 4:20, this gentleman drops by every day from 3 until 6 over at 96.9 The Game. He does sports. For us, he kicks it in here and hangs out for a little bit. Give it up good and loud for Brandon Kravitz.
Hey! Have it your way.
That is the radio voice of the Orlando Magic.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Well, he's one of them. You are one of them, right? You are one of the voices of the Orlando Magic.
He does play-by-play.
I'm not the voice of the Magic.
Stop doing that. You are one of the voices of the Magic. I know Jake Chapman is the #1 guy.
Except the love.
But the pregame and the...
That's what you call the play-by-play voice is the voice.
The voice.
I mean, you can call me the voice of the fan.
Oh, my
like
God
that.
almighty. You got to get out of your own way, Kravitz.
I'm not in my own way. I respect Jake too much to take his moniker.
Nobody's taking his moniker.
This isn't about me being humble. This is about me being respectful.
How many times do I text you and tell you what an unbelievable job you guys do as a team?
I love it.
You and I had literally a 20-minute conversation the other day about how good you guys are at that radio broadcast. It's unbelievably good.
Thank you. We take a lot of pride in that. I just don't accept the label of voice of the Magic.
It's why Paul Porter quit.
Right. It's exactly why. The face of the Magic is here, Brandon Kravitz.
See, now, Paul Porter also not the voice of the Magic. Never has been.
Right.
He is the in-arena voice of the Magic.
All these qualifiers.
I know it so much. Anyway, he does sports over there, and he kills it for him. He also is the head. Can I say this? You're the head of Zone Heads Media?
You are 100% right about that. I'll tell you
Nice.
what, too, because I am obsessed with betting on sports. I have a card every single day, and I share that at zoneheadsmedia.com in the betting section. So if you're ever curious, what's Brandon betting on today? Because I'm not going to just tweet out my picks every day.
Right.
I don't want to flood your timeline. But if you're so interested that you're curious, what am I betting on? How am I betting it? That is on zoneheadsmedia.com along with all of our podcasts.
Very nice.
And all that stuff.
That's like that website that tracks Pelosi's investments. I love that. That way you make a little bit of money there. All right, zoneheadsmedia.com. Go check that out.
We are hot right now, by the way.
Oh, yeah, very nice. Well, you got a good product there, buddy. That's why I try to tell as many people about it as possible because it is a good product. Very comprehensive.
Thank you.
Good for you.
Full detail of how I view round one in the NBA playoffs, why I bet unders in Major League Baseball. There's a whole
Very nice.
right
I love
there.
that. People are into that gambling thing, man. So get over there and check it out. Zoneheadmedia.com. So the Magic, obviously, this is going to be a tough first round. Everybody knew going in. You're playing the Celtics. They're no joke. And the Magic obviously had an up and down kind of roller coaster year from injuries to whatever. Seemingly, we were getting it together right there toward the end of the season when you're supposed to kind of, be cohesive and looked okay there. Won that play-in game pretty decisively against Atlanta, then go up against a real deal, no joke opponent. And, it didn't turn out so well for us. I mean, I was a little shocked by the gap in the score. I thought maybe we could fight to keep it a little closer.
Do you feel any differently? This is a question I'm asking the audience. I want to ask this to you as well. And this is not a challenge. I'm genuinely curious what your answer will be. Do you feel any differently about the series now after game one than you felt about it going into game one?
Not really, no.
I don't either.
I know that Boston's a very good team, and I think that any win or anything close to a win against the Celtics is going to be very, very, very difficult. And I think this is maybe a really good opportunity for the young people and the new people on our team to get some very valuable experience against a really good basketball team to kind of maybe create some situations they wouldn't be used to in the normal season to hopefully put that in the memory bank.
And I would just remind people, too, last year, the Magic were in the playoffs. They faced off with the Cleveland Cavaliers, who last year were good. They're not as good as they are this year, but still, that was a difficult opponent with players that had been to the playoffs before, and they had home court advantage. This was a young Magic team with no playoff experience at all going into the Cavs arena, and they put up 83 points in that game. Looked absolutely lost. The Magic scored 86 against the Boston Celtics. It was a very similar output from last year to this year. One of the differences for me, though, was that the Magic didn't look lost in the lights. And this is a bigger stage. You're playing the Boston Celtics. That's as big a brand as you'll find in the NBA. So they have all the reasons to kind of get lost in the clouds a little bit. I thought the experience showed in the first half. The Magic had a 1-point lead heading into the second half. Boston's just so much better offensively. They don't ever shoot themselves in the foot with the way that they play. So you really have to be perfect. And the guys outside of Paolo and Franz, nobody helped those guys. The point is that last year, yes, the Magic lost in round one. They still pushed the Cavs to 7 after looking absolutely lost and not being able to score the basketball in game one. Game one should not make you bail on this series altogether. It was always going to be a long shot to beat the Celtics in 7 games. But you can still hang with this basketball team. And I don't think that yesterday's result should deter you of any hope that the Magic are ever going to have a good showing against this team. I thought they'd win 2 games going into this series. I still feel like they can do that.
Yeah, the thing is with the Magic, when it goes to me, and you said it just a second ago, when they get into games like this, to me, it's the bench. If the bench doesn't play well, if they don't come off hot, if those guys don't pick up and supply some points and some minutes that are quality minutes, where it doesn't feel like, we're giving up 6 points just to give the guys some rest, the starters rest. I feel that that's a way that the Magic can stay in. And, of course, we know they're the worst shooting 3 team in the league.
Yeah, that's not going to change. And honestly, they weren't even all that bad. 37% is, you'll take that. Usually when the Magic shoot above 35% from 3-point range, they win basketball games.
Because they play great defense.
But they didn't take a lot of them, so that's part of the reason why the percentage was high. They scored, Paolo and Franz scored 59 points collectively. They got 27 from everybody else.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
you have to have a supporting cast.
Right.
They're out there by themselves. But I would just remind people, these, the others, as Shaquille O'Neal always calls them on the TNT pregame show, the others always play better at home. It's that for everybody. Role players play better at home in the playoffs. That has been the case since I started watching basketball.
Yeah.
And the Magic struggle offensively to begin with, so they're going to struggle even more. We'll see what Game 2 looks like. I think when they come back home, you'll see the defense is always going to be solid for this team. You'll see the offense come around a little bit. That's where I think the Magic have a real opportunity to steal a game or two.
Yeah, it's going to have to be a steal there. They're going to have to play great because it feels like to me when I watch teams like Boston that are loaded and very talented, very well coached, it seems like, they're putting that throttle on about 7 until they have to put it on 10.
Yeah.
And that's what it feels like. And it feels like the Magic have to go out there with it on 10 from the very onset.
Which is why they run out of steam.
To have a chance.
A lot of people wonder, why does this team always struggle in the third quarter? I think because they have to go, they're all gas, no breaks for 2 quarters. Yeah. They gas themselves out. And teams like Boston that can kind of feel their way through a basketball game go, okay, now we're going to turn it on. You're gassed, and now we're going to – it's the boxer that plays rope-a-dope with you. Yeah. And they're just waiting for you to tire out so that they can kick your ass.
Yeah.
And that kind of feels like what Boston did. That team is so difficult to defend for anybody in the NBA. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Whoever they put out on the floor can shoot the ball from everywhere.
It's insane.
Which sounds so simple, but not a lot of teams can do that. There's usually a guy that if out there in three-point land, you just let him shoot. You can't do that with anybody on Boston. So the second you double-team Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown, they'll find the open guy, and that open guy will knock down that three.
And that dude could have sold 6 jerseys all year, and that guy is still going to trouble you up.
It's amazing. They put your defense into this spin cycle. It is so incredible to watch.
One quick second, though, man, I want to ask you, is this also making fans and maybe the other people who are insiders in the Magic look at us not making a move during the deadline at one of those situations where you kind of knew you were going to maybe sneak into the bottom part of the playoffs? You knew that maybe there was going to be a first-team playoff between maybe the Cavs or the Celtics. You knew all that was coming. Like, we knew it months away. If this team made it to the playoffs, it would be in that situation that they didn't make a move to get somebody else, another shooter, or maybe a three-point specialist with some room in the cap. I mean, they had money. Is that something that's being spoken about?
Oh, absolutely. It frustrates fans to no end, and it's not like it's been completely ignored by the national media. Brian Windhorst, who works with ESPN, is as plugged in as it gets, and he came out. We talked about it on this show. He came out months ago at the trade deadline and said the Magic didn't even make any calls.
Not a call, man. They didn't even accept a call, right? It was something like that. It was literally
they took calls.
Oh, did they?
So he said that they took calls. They did not make any calls. They had very real conversations, but you would think a team like the Magic that has very clear deficiencies would be making phone calls aggressively trying to get better. What Jeff Weltman told us in the interviews that he did on our radio station and with the local media is that he felt like the offers that they were getting, teams were trying to take advantage because those teams knew what the Magic needed and they were hiking up the prices. What I would say to skeptical fans is that the players that you wanted, there was a list of about 4 or 5 guys that Magic fans were saying that guy can help. None of those players moved. It's not like other teams made trades for those players. So there is some credibility to what Jeff Weltman, the president of basketball ops, was saying. Those guys didn't get sold. Those boxes are still on the shelves.
Yeah.
Nobody purchased them, so clearly the price was too high. It's a problem. It's a red flag, but I'll say if they don't take care of this in the offseason, those guys should probably lose their job. I think they will, but they've clearly put themselves in a situation where you have to make a move to make this roster better at shooting the basketball.
And what makes it so stultifying, really, to people like, and again, I'm like a glancing fan of this, but I do pay attention a little bit. The other part that made it very interesting is the fact that on top of not getting anybody, now their draft position is going to be a little wonky too, because now they're in the playoffs. Really, I mean, is that a double-edged sword?
I don't think so. I don't think that was ever that never should have even entered the thought process of anybody in charge with the Magic of, well, maybe we should angle backwards so
not
that
angle
you can
backwards
get into,
per se, but you see what I was just saying, not by a decision, Brandon, but what I'm saying is the nature of this turned out to be where we didn't even make a move during the deadline, and then now on top of that we made the playoffs, which is going to put us in a weird position for the draft. We're going to wind up being like 13th.
Okay, I mean, I know that fans don't want to hear this because we already received a bunch of backlash on the text line for having this sort of attitude. When you enter into a round one series against a prohibitive favorite to represent the Eastern Conference, you're probably not going to win.
Yeah.
That's the way that this works.
Right.
The reality is it was a long shot. Even if the Magic were completely healthy, winning this series was going to be a long shot. And even if you were completely healthy and had a better seed, making it to the promised land was going to be a long shot. So if you know that this year isn't the year, why make that move anyway?
Got you 100%. I got you 100%. That would be the other process on the back end of that. Like,
let's see how far this roster can take us, and then
we can make the decisions based on that.
I think next year they have to see what Paolo has. Paolo is looking like one of the best players in the NBA, legitimately, and Franz looks like a great supporting player. They have those answers. And I think most of us thought it was going to look that way. We definitively know that is the case now. They have two dudes.
Yeah.
Go try and win.
Yeah.
Legitimately try and win a championship. It wasn't going to happen this year, but you have your answers. Hopefully they push that pedal to the metal in the offseason.
Talking to Brandon Kravitz from 96.9 The Game on about sports. We do it every single Monday around 4:20. Let's get to the Orlando City. This team started off with like walking into the stadium onto the pitch scoring goals. I mean, back-to-back 4-goal games.
Yeah, you were all excited about the offense.
Back-to-back 4-goal games, and now all of a sudden these guys can't score. Is this the third draw this season?
Not only the third draw in a row. I don't know about on the season without looking at the whole all of the results that we've seen so far, but we've not only seen 3 draws in a row. It's 3 0-0 draws in a row.
That means 3 games, not clean sheets, not giving up a goal. In the past 2 games, they did it with 10 men.
Oh, wow.
It's impressive defensively. Now, this is where I am not the biggest soccer fan in the world. Nobody has ever accused me of such things. This is where I really struggle with this sport. How are you doing this? 3 games in a row. You're locking in on 0-0.
But you get points. You get a point.
I know. And
look, I get it too.
There are soccer fans, hardcore soccer fans, some of which are listening to us right now that are rolling their eyes. I get it. Okay? You don't like when I talk bad about your sport. There are those that say there are 0-0 draws that are very exciting.
Sure, yeah.
Those same fans would not have said that about this game against Montreal. And Orlando City was dominated in this soccer match. It really is amazing that they walked away with a point in this one. If you look at every single statistical category, shots on target, possession, passes, pass accuracy, everything was controlled by Montreal. But Orlando City walked out. They got a point, and I don't know. We'll see if somebody in an Orlando City match can score a goal coming up before the turn of the century. That's crazy.
And then, of course, this Thursday is a very big thing for you.
Huge. NFL draft on Thursday night, round 1. It's live from Green Bay, Wisconsin, but we have a party that we invite all of you to out on Orange Blossom Trail. It is the Wing House over there at the Orange Blossom Trail, John Young Parkway intersection. Awesome location. The girls are fantastic. We'll have specials for you. We'll have prizes to win. I'm working on trying to bend the ear of our bosses to give away a grand prize where we send you and your group on the Bright Line down to Miami to go to a Dolphins game.
Damn.
I am close to securing that as the grand prize, but we'll definitely have football tickets, basketball tickets. We did secure some Magic playoff tickets.
Damn, dude,
that we'll
really?
be giving away at that Wing House event. So come and hang out. If you want to reserve your spot, because we are going to fill up, you can email me, Kravitz at 969thegame.com, and we'll save a spot for you. Any draft question before we? There's so many different angles that I could take on this.
No, I just think the overall consensus is Travis Hunter 1.
It is not. It is
not?
Cam Ward, quarterback out of Miami, it's basically already known that he's going to go number 1. Bless you, Deb.
Thank you.
Number 1 overall, Cam Ward to the Tennessee Titans. Then there's a slight question mark does Travis Hunter go to the Cleveland Browns? But it looks like that is going to be the case. The biggest question mark in that first round is where does Shedeur Sanders go? Your guy. I know you're a big Shedeur guy.
Oh, yeah, my guy.
He could go anywhere from 3 to the Giants to, who knows, maybe he drops out of the first round. Some people have him going 21 to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
What happened to the New Orleans talk? There some Saints talk, wasn't there?
That's another one of those teams. There are those teams throughout the first round where if they don't take Shedeur, then you can see that fall coming. 3 to the Giants is not looking likely. The next landing spot would be Las Vegas at 6, and then after that, it would be the New Orleans Saints at 9. If he doesn't go 9 to the Saints, maybe you get a team that trades up, but likely they're going to start. Those teams at that point, when the quarterbacks start to fall past 10, usually there's a game of chicken that goes on, and they're going to start playing chicken with Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, let me ask real quick because we got to get out of here. I'm late, you're late, everybody's late.
Constantly. My Monday show is late just until I leave this building.
So how much input does Brady have on Vegas's draft choices?
Well, let me ask you this. If you were a decision maker and Tom Brady called you, would you ask his advice?
I would ask his advice on anything football, and that's interesting to me. Do you think that Shedeur Sanders hits you as a Brady protege kind of guy? Does he hit you as a guy that could play under a team that had the overall ethos of Tom Brady?
I think so.
You think so?
I'm in the rare camp where I don't think Shedeur Sanders is a personality problem.
Interesting.
I think he's a harder worker than people give him credit for. He took an absolute beating at Colorado, always got back up. And, his dad is...
You can be both, right? You can be a hard worker and a personality problem, right?
Usually those two don't go together.
Yeah,
usually you're one or the other. But Deion Sanders, let's not forget, this guy created a hell of a career for himself because he worked his tail off.
Yeah, no, gotcha.
If he was able to impart that onto his children, which not every rich person is able to do, then you're going to get a good version of Shedeur Sanders. But I see somebody that is very accurate with the football, that understands the game, can read defenses, has enough athleticism to get by. I think he's going to be really good. But usually you can always default on this. This is a great qualifier just to let yourself out of any take when talking football. Depends on where he goes.
Yeah.
We'll see if the fit marries with his talent.
If he gets a good offensive line and a pretty good coach, anything can happen. That's for sure, because he's pretty accurate.
We'll review it either way when I come back in next Monday.
Very nice. You guys give it up good and loud for Brandon Kravitz here.
Have it your way.
Don't forget zoneheadsmedia.com, and don't forget Thursday night, the big draft party at the Wing House down on 441 and John Young Parkway, starting about
7:30.
7:30. Yeah. And there's a very good chance I'll be there.
I am thrilled to hear it.
There's a very good chance I'll be there.
We don't even have to pay Jim for this.
You do not have to pay me for this.
First beer's on me.
All right, you got it, buddy. Good seeing you, man. 407-916-1041. Text 77031. Got a few minutes left for your 4 o'clock keyword. It's fun, F-U-N. Go to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. Back in a sec with more of the Jim Colbert Show.
Real radio is
the Monsters in the Morning.
You would go do Chippendale for a bunch of ladies if you thought you can get away with it.
Yeah, right now I keep getting arrested.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
Hey, Central Florida, and happy Monday. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your forecast. And for today, we are going to be expecting a partly to mostly sunny sky. We'll have a few clouds overhead, but otherwise temperatures will remain hot with a high near 90 degrees for this afternoon. We stay on the hot and dry stretch as we head over the course of the next several days. Really no soaking rain in sight, even as we head towards the end of this week with highs in the upper 80s and low 90s. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Here in Orlando, we know life doesn't slow down for anything, especially a broken garage door. Since 2002, Precision Garage Door has been proudly serving the Orlando community. Local and reliable, that's what makes them different. Their vans are fully stocked, so when you call, their fully vetted techs are ready to provide you with same-day service. Whether it's a stuck door or a snap spring, they have you covered right when you need it most. We know a broken garage door can't wait, which is why we're always prepared to help by keeping our vans fully stocked. Call Precision Garage Door today or visit them online at PrecisionGarageDoor.com. Precision Garage Door. Garage doors done right.
I'm Mark Anajar.
I'm Glenn Levine.
I'm Ellie Anajar. Together, we're Anajar and Levine, and our team is a triple threat to big insurance companies.
Don't settle with the insurance companies for a fraction of what your case is worth. We'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve.
That's the Anajar and Levine difference. Get your free case review right now. We'll help you take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
Office Orlando.
Kevin, why is my auto insurance so expensive? I need to switch because my company raised my rates again.
I hear you, Jay. I had the same problem, but then I called Acceptance. They saved me hundreds on my car insurance.
Really?
Yes, Acceptance was great. They did all the work comparing different plans and found me the best payment options that fit my budget.
Do you have their number?
Sure do. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049.
Why pay more for auto insurance? Acceptance Insurance has offices in your neighborhood, and one call to Acceptance could save you up to 30% on your car insurance. 800-606-7049. Let Acceptance shop for you. By comparing and finding the best rates, you could save up to 30%. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049. Restrictions apply based on Q1 2024 study of Acceptance Insurance customers who reported saving when they switched. License number L012294.
Thank you for making Mercedes-Benz of South Orlando one of the premier luxury dealerships in Central Florida. We are the official dealer of luxury, providing the ultimate VIP experience at a price you can afford. Call Monica Ventura at 689-319-7680. That's 689-319-7680. We guarantee you will be treated like VIP and nothing less. Across from the mall at Millennia.
There's no substitute for the peace of mind you get with the technology leaders SafeTouch Security, whether you're home or away from home. And right now, for a limited time, SafeTouch is offering 50% off select security packages. Every SafeTouch system comes with 24/7 monitoring, a 45-second response time guarantee, and professional installation. And get ultimate control and convenience with the SafeTouch app. Call 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license EF 2000-2049.
All about the presets.
That is the best new feature. It's like a car radio right on the app. There's a list of what's trending. There's all the podcasts. I love it.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio.
Listen up, Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. Music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web. So let's do it again and get vaccinated. We're at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults under 50. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit vaxassist.com to schedule. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm ready. Let me just grab my bag. Sweatpants, huh? Didn't know we were keeping it casual this month. Yeah, I feel bloated every now and then.
You have to try new Align 3-in-1 Biotic Gummies. They have prebiotics to nourish good bacteria, probiotics to help relieve occasional bloating, and postbiotics for immune support.
All that in one gummy?
Yep. So no sweatpants next time?
Not anymore.
Align 3-in-1 Biotic Gummies for gut health support. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
When you've been in a crash and your mind's racing.
When you've fallen in a store and are blaming yourself.
When you've been hurt at work and you don't know what to do.
Or if you've been the victim of a medical mistake, we've got you.
We've got what it takes to prove a case that the insurance companies can't ignore.
With decades of experience and a track record of winning for our clients.
Farah and Farah, Orlando.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crush Yard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
New Year's resolution is to buy a home? Get your free buyer's guide at thenicklygroup.com.
Real Radio is on X at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show.
Good afternoon, the Jim Colbert Show, Prince of the Island. Jimmy, I was born and raised in Catholic, and yesterday was the first time in 20 years that I went to a Catholic church. Everything seems the same way, but this morning I woke up, Pope Francis have passed away. And yesterday also, the Vice President J.D. Vance was at the Vatican, and the next...
Every single time. Never fails. Never.
So the first time I felt like I was up out from underneath my parents' wing was when I was 20 years old and I bought my first house. My mom had just passed away. She left me a few $1,000s, and I put it down on a house. It was one of the best decisions I ever made. I recently dropped out of college because I got injured playing baseball, and that was my only career path that I ever saw, which was dumb, but I made it work. Got myself a good job and a great family now, and it all worked out.
Good for you, buddy. Love hearing that. Prince of the Islands texts are also on island time. Not making it here. Doesn't figure it out. Can't figure it out. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. I'm Jim. Deb and Jack are here as well. We'll get you another keyword here at the top of the hour. We'll have another freshie for you.
Freshie. Deb's going to pick one out of the bucket.
Yeah, out of the bucket
of keywords.
The bucket of keywords.
Ooh, let me put my thinking cap
do
on.
Those come nationally, right, Jack? Do you choose those or do those?
No, they are the same on
everywhere.
Every
right?
station for that hour.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So the fun that is the 4 o'clock keyword right now is also the keyword that's in Bangor, Maine right now.
Yeah. You want a little behind the scenes right now? Here's the deal. You get credit. People text all the time. Jim, thank you for repeating the word. Russ, thank you for repeating the word. Hey, News Junkie, how come you don't repeat the word? News Junkie show is syndicated on other iHeart stations at different times. He can't give the keyword during his show because that would play at a time when it's not the right keyword on another station.
Wow.
So that's why
that's even more impressive when he wins.
Yeah. So, but it's also repeated during the. I play it twice during his show.
Oh, good.
Like in the spots. So
very nice.
People sometimes are like, "Hey, how come he doesn't do this?" Well, that's why.
Got it.
So there you go.
There you go. Now you know.
Wow. Let's see if we have a winner yet.
Yeah. By the way, the gentleman who called in and talked about that content provider that does the.
Oh yeah.
And he goes, "Did you know that guy's name is Justin and he's actually in Florida?" He's a Florida content creator.
I think you've shown me some of his videos before.
He's kind of funny. He actually did one the other day where I guess people just started showing up at his front yard. Yeah, because he's pretty popular. He does pretty well with it. I think he used to be a military guy.
Oh, okay.
I think he was in the military for many, many years, like 20 plus years. It's Justin something. I can't remember his last name, but this stuff pops up on my feed all the time. And he does that whole thing where he says something like bombastic about the news or whatever. Then he goes, "Did you know?" And then just goes into some silly. The unicorn is the official animal of Scotland or something like that. So we did announce our Boozy brunch. If you want to go check that out, you can. It is realradio.fm/brunch at the Osprey. That is a James Beard nominated couple that owns that restaurant and owns that. They're up for that Beard Award. It is going to be so awesome. If you want to learn more about it, again, just go to the same website. It'll tell you everything you get and everything we're doing. These things are a blast, $85 a person. But what you get there is really amazing. 3 drinks, oysters, shrimp, pastries for the table. Then, of course, your entree and all the great entertainment burlesque trivia. It's all going to be fun. So many prizes as well. We have a ton of stuff to give away.
Mimosas, sangria, a special punch that they won't even tell Jimmy what's in it.
And then plus they have the same open bar with really good selection of tequilas and bourbons and the great cocktails. So, man, it's going to be a blast. May 4th, can't wait, 11 till 2. It is the Boozy Brunch. It is back. So grab your tickets now at realradio.fm/brunch.
And someone texted us earlier at 77031 and said they've already bought their 2 tickets.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, the guy's name is Justin Nunley, and he says it's in Alabama, but I saw a video of his just the other day where he said he was in Florida.
I do not know this person.
Yeah, maybe he was on vacation or something. Or I don't know, but he specifically said he was in Florida at that particular time.
Maybe he was just visiting like everybody does.
Who knows? Who knows?
Everybody comes here.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. A couple things we want to talk about when we come back. Do you think that we should be able to know what police officers do in their off time?
No.
Well, there's an interesting case that's kind of brewing about officers in January 6th. And I want to talk to you guys about it next.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
Things remain backed up on I-4 this afternoon in the Orlando area, both east and westbound by the major attractions exits. There is also activity now blocking the northbound left lane on Florida's Turnpike between the Oakland Exchange exit and Mineola and Hancock Road. Still seeing some heavy traffic further south on the Turnpike just south of the Greenway. If you see traffic problems, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Man, the real estate market trends are really local things, guys. Really local. You have a house here in Central Florida. I got I got great news for you, actually. It is much better than having your same house in, let's say, Evansville, Indiana, right? The prices here obviously going to be a lot more. That's if you have the right real estate group. That's where this really gets important. If you don't, it could cost you money. But with Nickley Group, these guys on average get you about 6% more for your home than their biggest competitor will, and they get that money twice as fast. They sell those homes faster than anybody out there. When I say homes, it's a whole bunch, guys. 4,500 plus homes have been sold. My wife's friend is a title person. She works in a title company. She says not only do these guys sell so much property, they're so professional. You never have to worry about anything when they come in. Everything is done for you. That's what's so great about them. And when you throw in their VIP program, it's pretty crazy. Free appraisals, free home warranties, free moving trucks and supplies. They even have a love it or leave it guarantee that if you're not satisfied with your purchase within the first 12 months, they will relist that house for free. Let's say you don't want to deal with any of that stuff. They got you covered there as well, because on their website, you can get a guaranteed cash offer for your home. No showings or open houses, and you can close that deal in as little as 14 days. It's the NickleyGroup.com. That's NICKLEY Group.com.
Joe Rossi from Greenway Kia here. Tariffs are hitting the auto industry hard, but we're ready. We loaded up on brand new Kias across all 3 locations. Right now, they're in stock and tariff-free, with interest rates as low as 0% for 72 months. Plus, take $3,000 off any new 2025 Kia Sportage. We want to see you in a Kia. Visit greenwaykias.com.
Stock number SG282557. MSRP $30,840. Qualified applicants through KFA. 0 down. $1,388 per thousand borrowed for 72 months at 0% APR financing. Plus tax title license. $899 dealer. And $249.50 doc fee. Expires 5/5/25.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Are you 62 or older and wondering if a reverse mortgage can help you access the equity in your home? It's so easy to get a free reverse mortgage quote with that mortgage guy, Don. Just fill out the online questionnaire at thatmortgageguyDon.com, or you can make an office appointment to meet in person at 1401 Town Plaza Court, Winter Springs, Florida. Happy Home Mortgage. NMLS ID 2418348.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with thatmortgageguyDon.com. Allergies are torture, but Exact from Aspire Allergy and Sinus can help you beat your allergies for good. Exact is clinically proven to give long-term lasting allergy relief in 3 injections. That's right, allergy relief in 3 injections. No matter how long you've suffered, no matter what else you've tried, with 3 injections, you can experience relief from your allergies. Exact from Aspire Allergy and Sinus. Go to aspireallergy.com to book your appointment today. aspireallergy.com.
Insurance companies often play tough, offering you the bare minimum for your injuries. But why settle for less? With me, Mo DeWitt, your Orlando injury attorney, you pay nothing unless we win. Don't let the insurance companies push you around. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.
Sunnyside Air Conditioning.
Hi, my air conditioner isn't working.
We're hosting a pet rock adoption telethon.
Pet rocks?
The internet says they're endangered.
Rocks are everywhere.
You know what's everywhere?
Frank Gay is everywhere. I'm calling Frank Gay.
When you have AC problems, you need help now. One of our licensed and certified technicians can have your AC blowing cold air in no time. That's the Frank Gay way.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
When it comes to restoring cars, Diego's got skills. And with Total Wireless in his corner, the whole world sees them. With the dual camera system on his new iPhone 13, he can take amazing car photos and post them on the fly with super fast 5G, and even turn this hobby into a full-time gig. His claim to fame? Claiming iPhone 13 with 5G on us. Get iPhone 13 with 5G on us when you switch to the Total 5G or 5G Plus Unlimited 3-month plan. Total Wireless, in your corner. For limited time while supplies last. Valid in store. Device taxes and fees may apply. Requires port in and ID verification. Restrictions apply.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Need help after an accident? Just call Mo. Learn more at JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Future Health Weight Loss.
Get access to weight loss meds like Ozempic, Zepbound, and pill options if you don't like injections from FutureHealth.com. The meds eliminate hunger and cravings, while Future Health handles the rest. Best results, best price. All online with no insurance needed. Join those losing 10 pounds in their first month. Visit FutureHealth.com. Future without the E to start losing weight this week.
Future Health Weight Loss.
Data based on independent study sponsored by Future Health. Future Health is not a healthcare services provider. Meds are prescribed at provider's discretion.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, HAPPY, H-A-P-P-Y, HAPPY. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Welcome. The Jim Colbert Show, streaming live on YouTube. Watch us talk.
My name is Gino, Latino.
Any female teacher that sleeps with a young man in school should get a bonus. And any male in school that sleeps with a teacher and tells on her, he should be evicted. I'm completely off subject, but just a thought. Because, man, if I was still in school right now, I would love me some teacher. Y'all have a great show.
I don't want to get evicted from school.
What the
Man, that
F?
professor's going to get a real bad score on her Rate My Professor this year. 0 out of 10 would stay during school shooter. She will not.
Hey, Colbert Show. So, man, I moved out of my house the second I turned 18. See you later, parents. Bye. I want to do what I want to do. I was on my own. At that moment, 18, I'm an adult. See you later. I mean, I get it, you know, dude left them, boo-hoo, but, you know, you guys are adults, man. Figure this stuff out for yourself. It's time to grow the hell up. This is the world you live in. Time to figure it out, man. I moved to Florida at 18, maybe 19 years old. I lived in Colorado. I was gone.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. Happy is your 5 o'clock keyword. Look, that guy. He's super happy. H-A-P-P-Y. Go to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. That'll do it. Happy is your keyword for the 5 o'clock hour. Welcome back. I'm Jim. There's Deb.
Hello.
Jack is here as well.
Yeah.
By the way, this guy's name is Justin Danger Nunley, and he is very popular. Because, I mean, we just mentioned him quickly, and the texting service filled up with people who also follow him. He's very good. He's
telling
funny.
us where he works, where he lives, where he vacations.
Exactly. Yeah, all that stuff. Right. And I was right. I guess he lives in North Florida. He's a retired military sergeant, I believe, and works at a Harley dealership. And then somebody texted in and said, well, he wouldn't talk to you, as if I was going to contact him because of your political stances. I'm like, well, that's stupid to say. What? How do you even know that?
Well, look at the name that we gave him on the texting service.
Exactly.
I mean, you can already tell.
It says it all.
Says everything you need to know.
Completely ignore, basically, is what it says.
Absolutely. He's just trolling.
All right, so I have a very interesting case. This is a CBS News case out of Seattle. 4 Seattle police officers who attended President Trump's Stop the Steal rally on January 6th of 2021, that notorious day. They were questioned by their police department, the Seattle Police Department, because they sued the city to prohibit January 6th investigations from mentioning their name in the records.
Right.
They sued. The Washington Supreme Court ruled against them in a decision earlier this year in which the justices unanimously found the officers failed to show that disclosing their names in public filings would violate their right to privacy, as the lawsuit claimed, because that's what they were saying. If you put our names out there, we're going to get harassed and harangued by people who thought that we were up there doing something stupid. They were never charged for doing anything wrong. They committed no crimes. They did not violate any crimes. They did not enter the building. They went up there to be a part of something and just did what a lot of people there did. They just kind of stood around and did nothing, just watched as it happened. And the interesting thing is what's calling into question here, what they're kind of questioning, which I kind of agree. It says here that, that there's really no reason for people to know what we do in our off time, because these people, like, once they were questioned by the Seattle Police Department as the investigation rolled out, they were being asked about their political beliefs, what they affiliations, reasons for attending the rally, their mental impressions as to the content of the rally, all of these things. And that's none of their business. It's none of their business. I don't care if they're a cop or not. It's none of their business. I found this to be kind of egregious, and I understand that the January 6th is obviously a polarizing time in American history, and it will be. I don't care what anybody says until the end of our time. That will always be one of those days that lives in infamy, and I don't care how you try to frame it. Everybody knows what it was. Everybody knows what that was. Like, most people, even the people who want to deny it, know what it was. But be that as it may, it doesn't matter. If you are a cop or you are a preacher, it doesn't matter. You are there as an American citizen. You have a right to go there, and you don't have to know. Do you also find it as egregious, guys, that they want to know what these people believe in their personal and off time because of their job? Because of the nature of their job, obviously enforcing the law, you could see where those beliefs could come into play if they were bad actors,
The couple of law enforcement officers from Central Florida that were arrested because they did enter the building. I know for me to be a member of a community and find out that as a police officer who took an oath to protect the entire community, that's when I'm going to look at it with a bit of a jaundiced eye.
I would understand that if you went in the building and did some sketchy stuff, for sure.
Exactly.
I feel the same. These guys did none of that. They were just there.
How do you know?
Because that's what they said, and the investigation showed that.
So they had to be investigated for that to be determined.
But in reality, there would be no reason for them to even do that. They were just because they were part of this and they went up there. There's no reason they should have been investigated if they committed no crime.
If you are at an event, whether you are innocent and didn't do it, but you are there, I mean, you are now, because of events that may not be of your doing, you are part of something bigger. And if that's being investigated, innocent people get investigated and, questioned all the time.
Yeah.
So they may have not done anything wrong, but just by being there, it opens himself up to an investigation process that is ongoing to determine who was and who wasn't entering the building and violating the law.
Yeah, it says here that the officers said they did not commit any crimes and cite a subsequent investigation by the Seattle's Office of Police Accountability determined the 4 did not engage in any unlawful or unprofessional conduct at the event. The investigation found that 2 other officers did. They actually went inside and trespassed. They were fired, by the way.
Right.
These 4 were not. And what they want to do is they want to protect their names because they don't want to be involved with any blowback personally, I guess, or maybe even professionally with being associated with that event in any way, shape, or form.
But, I mean, they've been cleared.
Yeah, it says the probe recognizes that attending Mr. Trump's political gathering was a protected act under the First Amendment, and the recommendation was based on the pair's violation of department policies within the Seattle Police Department. I don't even know what that was.
They were in public. You don't have a right to privacy in public, right? So the fact that they attended there, it's well documented that they didn't do anything wrong, right? That's what the investigation found. So what are they arguing about now?
I don't know that they're arguing about anything. They just simply don't want their names out there connected with the investigation.
So, yeah, they're arguing that they want anonymity,
and the Washington
but they were in public.
And the Washington Supreme Court overturned that. They said that you don't deserve that. You don't deserve anonymity there. You don't deserve that. It says here that all 6 officers, including the 4 John Does petitioning the Supreme Court, were interviewed. In those interviews, officers apparently were required to disclose their political beliefs, affiliations, reasons for attending the rally, and their mental impressions as to the content of the rally, according to the petition.
They were maybe finding out if they're more oath keepers.
They were compelled to participate, in quotation marks, in the investigation, quote, under the threat of termination from the police department. So, in other words, the police department strong-armed them into answering these questions about stuff that really has nothing to do with their job.
So I don't know what, like, legally, if they had representation, what the status of that was. They may have an issue there,
right?
To say, hey, they crossed the line in this investigation.
Okay, so this would be my thing. Once the Seattle Police Department does their internal investigation, right, and they ask all these questions, they determine these guys did nothing wrong, right? What would be why would their name be released? Just because they were asked these questions? Do you kind of understand what I'm saying? Is like it seems to be one of these revolving door scenarios where they were asked the questions because they were there. 2 other officers did get fired, so I assume that kind of made them want to ask more about what the other guys were doing. Do you think those questions were legit?
Now,
to ask somebody about their political beliefs as an officer?
Here's a little bit of a background. So someone just texted us at 77031. When you become a cop, most all departments will make you go through lie detector tests, psychological tests, ask you about your beliefs, political, social, and religious. So in order to be hired, you're asked all of that. How is it different when asked later on in your career?
Yeah, because basically what they're doing is they're assuming that these police officers, because they were on property, did something wrong when they were expressing their First Amendment right to go up there and be part of a protest. They weren't even on the job, guys. They weren't on the job. They were just there as citizens.
Well, yeah, but they were investigated and found they didn't do anything wrong.
Right, by the police department.
Right.
But
so they're cleared of that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they still don't want their names associated with that investigation because they don't think they did anything wrong. Like if the 2 of you guys went to a protest and something broke out, and because you guys were standing there, they called you. The radio station calls you in and interviews you and asks you all these questions, and then wants to release your name as part of this investigation. And you're like, I really don't want to be. I went there anonymously. I didn't go there to have my name called out in public and do all that. I didn't do anything wrong. Why would that happen?
You may hope you can go someplace anonymously, but my point earlier, and a texter says they have a right to privacy, but when you go to a public place, you don't have a right to privacy in a public place. If someone takes your picture, that can be posted. You give up when you are out in public. It's not like you cannot be identified.
Well, here's the other issue too. It's kind of a little bit of want their cake and eat it too. Because it does matter. Like if you and I go to a protest, we're not in charge of someone else's constitutional rights. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we don't take an oath to do this job. We didn't take an oath to protect the community. So it makes me wonder, well, if you don't want your names out there in the blowback, it makes me wonder, would trust be lost in their community when these names are released and community members go, oh, you went to that.
Right, yeah. That's my point, because here's the thing. Maybe they just went and they were interested in what was going to happen. They didn't go up there.
That's an awfully big trip to make from Seattle to D.C. to just see what's going to happen.
You can't assume anything like that.
No,
you're talking about somebody's First Amendment rights to, as an American, they pay taxes. They deserve to be able to go somewhere and do what they want if they're not breaking any laws, which is exactly what they did. There's no inferred anything there. None.
But when you have an investigation, is that public record? Like when the investigation is concluded, that would be public record, right?
Yeah, I would assume, because this was an internal investigation done by the police department. Are they completely transparent with all investigations of this nature? Like if something happened like that, could we go to them and go to their PIO and go, hey, look, I want all this information from every investigation, first and last names and everything?
It wasn't the FBI investigating them?
That was the Seattle Police Department, because it was the Washington Supreme Court that ruled against them.
Yeah.
So I just found that interesting. Again, for the record, I'm not supporting them because they went to January 6th. I don't want you to think that. This is just a procedural thing, no different than any of the other stuff we're arguing about, these immigration issues. It's just a procedural issue, and I found it interesting that they got interviewed and asked about their political beliefs and the other stuff, when really it doesn't. It's none of their business what I do in my off day. When the minute I hang my badge up, the minute I set my gun down, I theoretically can go do whatever the F I want, as long as I'm not breaking laws or causing any. Well, here's where the moral clause comes into play, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Could you be a member of the KKK?
There you go. Because then again, when you go back to your community,
that's a great point. Because that's not against the law, is it?
Right.
It's not.
Shockingly.
Yeah,
but
it's not.
But it would matter to members of your community that you could be arrested. I mean, like the officers here. I mean, he's not shy about it at all. He said he was very proud about January 6th and what he did.
You could also be a Satanist.
Yeah.
You could also be a lot of those things. I mean, would you want to know if someone is a Satanist as bad as you'd want to know that they're a Klan?
I don't know what the morality clause, if they have one for police officers, or what that standard is. And I know we have plenty of LEO that listen, but if they can, text us at 77031, I'm curious.
Yeah.
What do you say?
This texting service is so great. It's a constant reminder that people hear what they want to hear.
Always.
It is a constant, perpetual reminder that people want to hear what they want to hear, and they have no interest in actually listening to what you're saying. None at all. They have zero interest in that one. They want to throw an arrow. That's what they want to do. They want to throw a knife before they actually want to listen to what anyone is saying. This is an interesting question. If you think it's wrapped up in some political angle, you are incorrect. I do not do that like this. I have no interest. I just think it's an interesting, compelling argument that, as we lean on police officers to defend us, regardless of our religion, regardless of our political affiliation, do you want to know everything you want to know about every officer? Like, if you had to call for a domestic violence case, do you want to know everything about that officer or those officers that show up? Do you want to know if they have any domestic violence in their history? Do you want to know if they are
victim?
Are you sympathetic to that? I mean, do you deserve to know that?
Wouldn't you want to know that?
That's not my question. Do you deserve to know that? Do I deserve, as I'm calling 911 to get somebody to come to my house because I'm being hit by my spouse, do I deserve to know that the two officers on the way have never had any of that in their history? Or do I just trust the fact that the police department vetted them as employees and they're sending out the best people for the job?
Correct. The latter, I would say.
Right. But I mean, that's basically what they're saying here, right? I mean, they're saying they want everybody to know all of their political affiliation. Well, not really, because they did the investigation internally. But still, even asking then, why would you ask a question like that? To see what the motivation is? I mean, again, you have free will to do what you want within reason. All right, 407-916-1041. You can always text us, 77031. Don't forget, your 5 o'clock keyword is happy, Happy. Go to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. Back in a sec.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Looking at accident activity causing heavy delays on I-4 eastbound as you approach the Lake Mary Boulevard exit. The crash is currently not blocking anything, but is causing visual delays from the shoulder. Accident activity continues to block the northbound left lane on the turnpike between the Oakland Exchange exit and Mineola. If you see traffic problems, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code radio for an extra 5% off.
Man, oh man, I don't know if you've looked at the old weather map. It is about to get hot and dry, and your AC is going to be working hard, and you're going to be asking a lot of it. Is it ready for that? Have you had that tune-up on your system this year, that preventive maintenance tune-up? Well, if you hadn't, give my friends over at Mills Air a call. That's what these guys do better than anybody. They keep you nice and cool when it's the hottest out there. And you can lean on these guys. They have integrity. They've been doing it since 92, 30-plus years of experience in keeping Central Florida nice and cool. You can lean on them when you need help. Their techs can service any brand out there, so don't worry about what you have. You don't even have to know what kind of AC you have. Mills can repair it. But check this out. They are also Carrier factory authorized dealers, and that's important. It could get you up to $1,275 in rebates towards that brand new Carrier unit. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier and always turn to family-owned and operated Mills Air. Call these guys today and schedule your appointment. It's 407-277-1159. Online, it's easy. MillsAir.com.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by Tools Ace Hardware.
This is an ad for Roundup for Lawns. It kills weeds down to the root without harming your lawn. It works on crabgrass, dandelions, clover. It works on weeds with names you can't even pronounce. It's Roundup for Lawns. When used as directed, always read and follow pesticide label directions.
Jim Colbert Show question of the day is brought to you by the Home Builders Network. You find them at hbnusa.com, and that's where you find Mike, the home builder. When it comes to doing the things around the house that you need done, for me, it was a couple of years ago I needed a new roof, so I contacted Mike at hbnusa.com. He came over, got my quote. We went ahead with the roof, did a fantastic job, but also I'm like, give me the gutters with covers, because I heard about them and I love it. 2 years, I have not had to clean out gutters. I used to have to do it several times a year, and it's been 2 years plus. No gutter cleaning for me. Thank you, Mike the Home Builder. Thank you, Home Builders Network. They're expanding, they're getting bigger, and they can help you with the jobs around your house, whether it's replacing a window, replacing a door, new roof, fixing your roof. The gutters, as I mentioned, go to hbnusa.com.
Ron White, live.
If your eyes go bad, you can have LASIK surgery and they can give you 20/20 vision. But let me tell you something, folks. You can't fix stupid.
May 21st, inside Hard Rock Event Center at Seminole Hard Rock Tampa. On sale now at hardrocktampa.com or ticketmaster.com. Seminole Hard Rock Tampa. For mature audiences.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crush Yard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
Eustace Roofing, with over 65 years of experience in Central Florida, provides a VIP experience with an on-site crew lead, project manager, and expert team for every home. No wonder they won National Roofing Company of the Year. Visit eustaceroofing.com to schedule your free estimate.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news. We offer HELOCs and home equity lines of credit with scores as low as 640. Find out if you're qualified today at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
William is one of millions of Americans who uses GoodRx to save on the cost of their prescriptions.
My oldest daughter, Camilla, 2 days old, she had to have open heart surgery. All of a sudden, she's on 5 different medications. It adds up at the end of the month. Me and the pharmacist got so tight. She said, GoodRx save you a lot of money. Saving that extra $200-300 a month. We're able to do all these extra activities, so it puts less stress on our household, and it puts less stress on our pockets.
Download the free app or visit GoodRx.com and start saving today. GoodRx user compensated for their time. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance.
Mornings are unpredictable. But West 2 News Sunrise can get your day started on the right track. We have team coverage this morning with breaking news and what's happening now.
Breaking this morning, investigators.
Central Florida's most accurate weather forecast.
Central Florida is under a first warning severe weather warning day.
And up-to-the-minute traffic to simplify your morning commute.
Impacting traffic exiting at that ramp this morning.
Jason, Meredith, Sonica, Kellyanne, and Megan. West 2 News Sunrise, starting at 4:30 a.m.
No one takes it into Hollywood like Access Hollywood.
I love it.
The biggest stars on the red carpet.
What do you expect?
The hottest trends.
Very modern.
Dominating your feeds. And the artists and athletes shaping pop culture. From awards season to every season,
Here at Yankee Stadium.
Kid Scout Zuri and I are giving you all the access you want.
Are you kidding?
Hey, Mario Lopez here. Please join me for Access Hollywood tonight at 7:30 on West 2.
Are you prepared for the future? At TK Law Firm, they understand the importance of securing your legacy. Whether you're looking for a will or trust, they can help. Don't leave your legacy to chance. Visit onefirmforlife.com for your free consultation. Protect what matters most. TK Law Firm, your partner in estate planning excellence.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
And we're back to the Jim Colbert Show. Still to come, legal stories and more with Ray Trendley from TK Law. Today at 6:20 on the Jim Colbert Show.
I think my question would be, if I was investigating those officers, is as you saw the perpetration of a crime, which was the insurrection, people breaking into the Capitol, what did you do? You are an officer of the court.
Great question.
I don't know what out-of-state laws, or even if they have to carry their handgun, which normally off-duty officers do. So what did they do to try to stop it?
That's a great question. That's a great question.
Yeah, it is.
Good afternoon, Colbert crew. When it comes to the January 6th debacle, you're saying that those Central Florida cops were there, they entered the building, but they didn't do anything, so they shouldn't be disciplined or looked at it in any way. Well, that is 100% false. They knew they shouldn't have entered the building. They entered the building, not to mention those people who lately have been going to every intersection, shutting the intersections down, doing donuts with their cars. When the cops come, they arrest everybody there. Treat January 6th the same.
Yeah, I didn't say that about the Florida cops, buddy. It's a little, it's a little frustrating to hear that, because I did not say that on the texting service during the entire break. People are like, "Why are you protecting?" I'm like, "I'm not doing that at all." Did you hear what I said about January 6th in general? By the way, we have an officer who's nice enough to listen. Deputy Scott's been listening for many years, and we love
great
Scott.
guy.
He is a great guy. We love him dearly. He's a wonderful dude. And we had a number of people check in as officers, like from the villages and other people like that. And he goes, "Look, man, we're scrutinized all the time. We're scrutinized all the time." He goes, and really the best argument I've heard for this, and again, this is just me asking questions because it's interesting. A teacher can't be a stripper. Simply put, right?
Yeah.
It's the same theory, is it not? And I think the gentleman who sent that first text also has. If you're there and you're an officer, and by the way, this is a great question for all officers. Theoretically, and we've seen YouTube videos or videos online.
There was an NYPD detective who was just fired because she ended up, bare-assed in a rap video.
Oh yeah. Well, this one I'm talking about, I was like, if you're in a store and there's a commission of a crime and you have an opportunity to stop and you do nothing, even though you're off duty, that doesn't shine well, right? Don't you have some civic duty, even though you're not wearing your badge and uniform, to protect and serve? I mean, isn't it really a 24-hour job kind of thing? I mean, that's what
I know. They have to have their service weapons on them all times.
Scott was saying that very thing. He goes, "Look, man, we're scrutinized continuously all the time, and asking about their political beliefs, I still think is a little bit out there. I completely understand, I guess, in the context of this because of January 6th and the monumental meaning of what happened that day. I kind of get that, but I still find it a little odd because for me, in my brain, the way it works is I don't see how those two would work together. I mean, they're off, they can do what they want, but I can understand that in some contexts, like, if we're out and around, if somebody walks up to us and says, "Hey, love the show," you're like, "Come on, man, I'm on my time." You can't do that, right? Just bad look type.
Yeah, well, plus, again, we don't make an oath to protect the Constitution and uphold everyone's individual rights. And I think this says it best. Someone texted 77031, "As a former state trooper, I would not engage in any activity that could have backlash." So if you're a Seattle officer and you're making that big-ass trip to Washington, D.C., no, it's not going to look good.
Yeah.
That wasn't a little trip around the block.
Yeah, it was not.
That was not.
So, and you can't engage in anything like that without the understanding that this could get back.
You're right, and reflect on you.
And how does that reflect?
Yeah.
Because
whether you have the right to do it or not, you also have to consider what are the implications on my employment and am I willing to deal with that?
Right. Yeah, this is it is a really interesting article. If you want to check this out today, it's CBS News. And it says officers who attended Trump's January 6th rally petition Supreme Court to allow their anonymity in public records. And then somebody actually texted earlier, I don't know if this is true or not, that any public investigation by a government facility, whether it be a police department, a city commission, or whatever, that is all public record at all times.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what they're fighting for, right? Because the context is public record, and what they're trying to do is make their names not part of that and remain John Doe 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 4, and 5, I think it is, or whatever. I don't know what they did with 3. They took that dude out.
Exactly.
One texter does say police departments do not mandate carrying of service weapons.
Okay.
Most police departments.
Yeah,
or deputy sheriffs.
Yeah, I think a lot of them still do, though, right? Off duty, a lot of
they
them
may
will
have
carry.
they may have a right to do it.
Yeah.
But
I knew a deputy sheriff that said was like, I have to.
Does it have to be your service weapon? I mean, can it be another weapon? Like, let's say, because your service weapon's kind of big. I mean,
they say anymore. So,
I see. Gotcha.
It must have been a policy that changed since then.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Happy is your 5 o'clock keyword, HAPPY. Go to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. Happy, guys. That is your 5 o'clock keyword. I'm Jim. There's Deb, and Jack is here as well. What were you
feel a little hurt?
What were you big facing about?
No, someone texted, said they're former LAPD.
Oh, yeah,
That's
really?
Pretty cool.
Yeah, that is,
hardcore.
Is it? Yeah. I think maybe you have to investigate those.
Oh,
guys.
man.
They had a little bit of a rough run there for a while.
Yeah, they did.
Was it Gil Gaetti or what was the guy's name?
Oh, Garcetti?
Gil Garcetti in those years?
Yeah.
Like pre-OJ, post-OJ years? They had some interesting run-ins there.
Wasn't that a movie Training Day, loosely based documentary?
Yeah, something like that, maybe. I don't know. You guys interested in any movies coming up? My daughter and her boyfriend saw a movie this weekend. She says it's an absolute must.
What?
Really?
Yeah, what do you think?
Because
Is it Sinners?
It is Sinners, the movie that unseated the
yeah, the one where everyone's throwing stuff.
Minecraft.
Yeah, the Minecraft movie. Yeah, this is the one that unseated it. It made $45.5 million this weekend as a horror movie.
Yeah.
My kid went to see it with her boyfriend and said it will peel your eyes back.
What?
Said it's really, really good, really scary, a bunch of crazy twists within the movie. It says it's very good. One of the reasons why it did so well this weekend, because it's also a very well-made movie.
Jordan Peele, right? Or no?
I think it is. I'm not 100 on that because we have the that one star that was in that other movie. I think Nope.
Oh, you saw it. Didn't you see Nope?
Yeah, I saw Nope. Yeah,
and then you regretted seeing Nope.
Yeah, I didn't like it as much as a lot of other people did. But this movie is supposed to be damn good, and we like horror movies.
See, I'm too much of a wimp.
And it's so weird to release a horror movie on Easter week, or the weekend before Easter.
Yeah, appropriately titled Sinners.
Yeah, exactly.
What? Is it weird? It seems like kind of genius.
I know.
It's Michael B. Jordan is the star, and it's a Ryan Coogler movie.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I've seen the promos for that.
Yeah. So it is supposed to be crazy good. Haley Steinfeld is in it. Jack O'Connell. And I don't really recognize anybody else.
I did not get a thumbs up on that from the wife.
Oh, no?
No, when we go to the movies and they're doing the previews, after every preview, I look at her and I look for thumbs up, thumbs down, or sideways.
Oh, come on. I thought she liked horror movies.
No. I got her to watch some, and that's more suspense as opposed to gore.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean she likes them.
Yeah. I don't know. And they didn't really say this was gory. It's just that, she said it was very intense. And there were some really big shifts in the movie. And she said you don't see them coming at all, which makes it even makes it that much better.
That is.
Yeah. So I'm probably going to check that out this week. I think they're going tomorrow night for $5 movies because AMC has $5 movies, I think.
Okay.
Tuesdays,
is it Tuesday $5, Jack?
I think that's it.
Yeah, it's either.
Yeah.
I
know it's a Tuesday deal.
It's AMC or what's the other one? Regal. Yeah.
I think it's AMC.
Which is one up by the Altamont Mall? Is that an AMC or a Regal?
Altamont is AMC.
That's AMC.
Oviedo is Regal. Winter Park is Regal.
Regal, yeah. Where's there even a Cinemark?
Oh, that's one on iDrive. Is there a Cinemark out there?
Yeah, they're around.
Yeah. But
I don't have any coupons for them.
iDrive is the one the Cinemark is the one that has the 4D thing, right?
Yeah. And isn't it the seats that move
The seats move, they shake, they move, and you also can get some smell up in there, right?
Smell-o-vision. Never sniff a microphone.
God. Never
Show title.
Never sniff Ryan Holmes' microphone.
In all fairness, I think he uses the one next to you.
Oh, does he really?
Yeah.
All right, all right.
Don't sniff your own microphone, Deb. Do not do that. Did you guys see what the Pope's final tweet was?
No.
Yeah, he sent out a final tweet before he passed. And I was just kind of wondering what, obviously, like, what's your final tweet? You never know what your final tweet's going to be, right? Unless you're laying on your deathbed and they're going, you get about 5 minutes, dude.
Most of us don't.
Yeah. I think his final tweet was, Christ is risen. But I thought there was something added on to that as well. I thought it was something else in that Christ is risen. These words capture the entire meaning of our existence, for we were not made for death but life. That was the Pope's very last tweet, which makes sense, right?
Yeah.
The irony of him, passing on Easter, considering what Easter is, is kind of interesting. Obviously you wouldn't even think about what your final tweet would be, but it would have to be something silly. I was just like, ow!
See you on the flip side.
See you on the flip side?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I don't have a...
Oh, I think you just got a message.
Oh, is it? Let me look at my phone. Who is this from? Oh, God, it's Pete Hedseth.
Oh. What's he sending now?
He told me, don't move the nukes from Alaska. Keep them there. And Big T is on this tweet.
Oh, whoa,
Big T.
To you and Big T?
It's two cousins of his, Big T, Teabag, and Brother Matt are all on this text.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So hopefully they won't take that information and do anything crazy with it. Oh, there's another one.
There's another
This guy
one.
can't shut up. Let's get this time.
Here's some more war plans.
Here's some poke.
Here's where the secret room is in the White House, where they hide everybody important. I guess we'll just kind of put that on the side. I'm probably not supposed to be a part of that. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Yeah, that one came out. When did that last thing come out with Hegseth and the second set of plans for?
It was over the weekend. Well, they revealed it over the weekend because I think when he was commenting, it looked like an Easter event, and he was blaming the media.
Yeah.
You know what? As a member of the media, buddy, I'm not texting from your phone, dude.
I mean, how much of this stuff would normally be tolerated in
zero.
In the real administration, it wouldn't be.
Yeah, you think the very first issue of this would have led to not only him being blown out but also Tim Walz as well, that he would have gone?
Well, think about this. I mean, Hegseth lost, 3 or 4, high-level staffers in one day.
Yeah.
And one day on Friday with that first leak. And then comes news of the second time. And apparently he was warned about using Signal because it's not secure.
Was this after the first one, or this was...
This is a second one.
But what I'm saying is, was it part of an initial set of released text that wouldn't have fallen under a separate order?
Like,
you see what I'm saying?
When we found out about the first one, had he already sent that second one that went to his wife and brother?
His wife, his brother, and his personal lawyer.
Yeah.
Now his brother.
I think Jim got another one.
Hold on. Let me double check real quick. He just said, "You guys are part of the mainstream media, and you're lying right now." He's listening live on the.
Of course he is. What else is he going to do?
I'm texting it back. Take it back. By the way, nice hair.
He does have great hair. He's like Gavin Newsom's little brother. Yeah. Well, that's an interesting thing up there. I wonder how they'll wiggle out of that one. I couldn't imagine the idea of using Signal like that. Because, I mean, look, anytime we talk, even when we were talking to Maria Comstock and talking about all the secret agents and stuff that she works with, she goes, what's the name of that room you go into?
Situation room?
A skiff.
Oh, yeah.
A skiff room, which is basically a room where you can transfer information like that can't be bugged. You can't get in there. I mean, isn't that supposed to be where stuff like that gets handled?
They spend hundreds of millions of dollars on these secure ways to communicate, and I'm sure it's a pain in the ass, and it's so much easier to pick up your phone and send it. But
sure, yeah. Was this information about a strike in Yemen?
Yeah, this is about the Yemen strike against the Houthis.
Yeah. Interesting. We'll see what happens. Obviously, that's making news, but with the Pope passing, that has probably consumed the news cycle. I mean,
Pete's
everywhere.
like, yes.
As terrible as it sounds, he probably did.
You know it.
All right, 407-916-1041. You can always text us, 77031. Don't forget, guys, your 5 o'clock keyword is happy, Happy. Just slide over to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. We'll take a little break, come back, do trivia. Load them up. It's time for some prizes.
What?
Real Radio is the news junkie.
When you look at the jobs that the immigrants into America, illegal or otherwise, tend to take, they legitimately just are jobs that a lot of Americans are never going to do. When you go to a place like an oranges farm.
Yes, an oranges farm, Sean. That's exactly what they're called.
Hey, y'all, welcome to the Oranges Farm.
The News Junkie. Weekdays at 11 on Real Radio 104.1.
Hey, this is Lincoln Kennedy. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
The Magic are moving on to Game 2 of their playoff set against Boston after being blown out in Sunday's opener. Best-of-7 series continues Wednesday. A pair of UCF football players will miss the upcoming season with injuries. Offensive lineman Justin Royce and wideout Day Farmer each need surgery. And Italy's top soccer league postponed all their games today out of respect to Pope Francis, who died today in Rome at age 88. I'm Scott Davidson.
That feeling of owning your first Mercedes-Benz is hard to believe, but it's real. From the leather stitching to the iconic design, every element of a Mercedes lives up to its reputation. See for yourself at your local dealer. Offers are waiting.
Hey everybody, Jim Colbert here, and I've got great news. The Filatowski Eye Institute is now offering a free LASIK exam to see if you're a candidate, plus $500 off each eye when you elect a procedure. That's $1,000 off your surgery, but it's for a limited time only. Ditch those glasses because this offer won't last. Simply dial pound 250 and say Better Vision. That way you can schedule your appointment today. That's pound 250 and say Better Vision. The Filatowski Eye Institute, trusted, local, life-changing.
The Jim Colbert Show would like you to join us for brunch. This ain't your grandma's brunch, honey, and it's about to get wild. Join Jim and Jack on May 4th for a Sunday fun day you won't forget at Osprey Restaurant. We're talking pastries, raw bar, brunch, beverages from the bar, and burlesque.
Burlesque?
Yep, featuring the seductive sass of corsets and cuties. Think feathers, fringe, and prizes.
Prizes for burlesque?
No, the prizes are for feisty trivia. It's all going down at Osprey Restaurant Sunday, May 4th, 11 a.m. sharp. Seats are limited, and this brunch will sell out. So grab your crew and get ready to sip, snack, and get saucy with the Jim Colbert Show's Boozy Brunch. Get tickets now at realradio.fm/brunch.
Hey everybody, Jim Colbert here for my friends over at Life Imaging FLA. I love endorsing this company. One reason only, is because it can save your life. We have heard from so many listeners that went thinking they were fine, only to find out that they have major blockages in arteries, and it led to surgery, which did save their life over and over. And the peace of mind you get once you get your scan, you find out you have that really low calcium score, which means your heart's in good shape. Nothing in the world like that, guys. So be a part of this. No dyes. You don't take off your clothes. This entire process only takes a few minutes. So don't wait. Do what we did. Call Life Imaging FLA right now. Get that free heart scan. Just a few minimum requirements. It is a $699 value. And while you're there, please ask about their cancer screening as well, because there's no question early detection does save lives. Here's how you do it. Just simply pick up your cell phone, dial pound 250, and say the keyword free heart scan. That's all you have to do, guys. Pound 250, say that keyword free heart scan. They will connect you in seconds. And once you make that appointment, guys, you will feel great. Time to take control of your long-term health care. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
Allergies are torture, but Exact from Aspire Allergy and Sinus can help you beat your allergies for good. Exact is clinically proven to give long-term lasting allergy relief in 3 injections. That's right, allergy relief in 3 injections. No matter how long you've suffered, no matter what else you've tried, with 3 injections, you can experience relief from your allergies. Exact from Aspire Allergy and Sinus. Go to aspireallergy.com to book your appointment today. aspireallergy.com. GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
Hey guys, not feeling like yourself? Visit Game Day Men's Health, one of the nation's largest men's health clinics, specializing in testosterone replacement therapy, ED treatments, medical weight loss, and shockwave therapy, with locations in Winter Park, Lake Mary, and downtown. They can create a customized game plan for you. Set up your free testosterone test and consultation. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Mention 104.1 and get a second service free when you buy one. Game Day Men's Health, helping men perform and feel their best.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of over 40 Greenway dealerships vying for your car when you trade it in at Greenway Kia. When dealerships compete, you win. We're offering as much as $10,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your trade. Curious what your trade's worth? Check it out now at greenwaykias.com. We want to see you in a Kia. From Greenway Kia, with 3 area locations to serve you. All factory rebates to dealer, negative equity refinanced.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Sunnyside Plumbing.
Hey there, my sink is leaking water. I need help right now.
We're having a company-wide staring contest. Do you want to play?
But what about my sink?
Okay, me versus you.
No.
Ready, go.
No, I'm not playing. And you know what? I should have called Frank Gay.
Oh, I almost blinked.
I'm calling Frank Gay.
When it comes to plumbing problems, you want a helpful operator to guide you and an honest and reliable plumber to provide customized solutions for your home.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
Thank you for making Mercedes-Benz of South Orlando one of the premier luxury dealerships in Central Florida. We are the official dealer of luxury, providing the ultimate VIP experience at a price you can afford. Call Monica Ventura at 689-319-7680. That's 689-319-7680. We guarantee you will be treated like VIP and nothing less. Across from the mall at Millennia.
You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show.
Final tweet. Don't eat the peeps. Too many peeps. I don't know why I got a little Trumpish right there, but don't eat the peeps.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. Happy is your 5 o'clock keyword. You got about 10 minutes or so to get over to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. Happy, guys. That is your 5 o'clock keyword. Good luck. Welcome back. I'm Jim. There's Deb.
Hello.
And Jack has the Jackie sack. Let's get it. All aboard.
Chugga, chugga.
Choo-choo.
Look at it, clack. Look at it, clack.
We got a couple prizes in the Jackie sack today. First, an opportunity for you to see Orlando City SC take on Atlanta United right here at Inter & Co Stadium. That happens April 26th. Let's see if they can get back on the right track and score some goals.
A goal.
Well,
a goal.
I want more. I went to the Pride game, by the way, this Saturday.
Yeah, it was the first loss at home like in 2 years or something.
I don't feel guilty. It wasn't me. Don't blame me.
Okay,
The weather was glorious.
It's all your fault.
Anyway, Orlando City tickets as they take on our rival, Atlanta. That's this Saturday. Also, I have a $25 gift card to Tijuana Flats.
Oh, man.
They are turning 30. You can celebrate 3 decades of bold flavor and fun at T-Flats. We love Tijuana Flats, and you can win a $25 gift card. Those are the 2 prizes in the Jackie Sack today.
Back to you. Clickety-clack.
Every time you say Tijuana Flats, all I think about is a wad of perfectly cooked chips with all that salt and pepper wedged in between them, and I just roll that through some of their queso. God almighty.
Queso's good.
God almighty.
I think I know what you're having for dinner.
Oh,
That's
God.
Wednesday's dinner.
Oh, there you go.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5,
Let's
young
do
lady.
2.
2 it is. That is Andy. Andy, how you doing?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you.
Glad to hear that, buddy. Want to play a little game with us?
Oh, you know it.
Let's do it then, buddy.
Is he the puzzle master? Or is he the guy who's currently writing today's game? Can he be both? Let's find out. It's time time for JCS Trivia.
That's right, Andy. This is a real easy game. Got a question here for you. 4 answers. One of these answers is a lie.
No.
I am trying to fool you.
No.
But if you can find it, I'll send you to the old Jackie sack, and you can pick out something nice for yourself. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go, buddy. On this day in 2019, Ukrainian comedian Vladimir Zelensky wins the presidency in a landslide victory in Ukraine. Here are 3 fun facts about Ukraine and one Oval Office meltdown of a lie. Here we go, buddy. We're talking about Ukraine. Which one of these is not true? Here we go. Number 1, translated from Old Slavic, the word Ukraine means plentiful lands. Number 2, Ukrainian men wear their wedding bands on their right hand. Number 3, considered the worst man-made disaster ever, the Chernobyl nuclear power. Jeez Louise, let me try that again. Considered the worst man-made disaster ever, the Chernobyl nuclear power plant is located in Ukraine. Or lastly, Ukraine is the world's largest producer of sunflower seeds. Which of those is a lie?
Number 3.
No, that is absolutely true. I know. I should have let him yell, damn it, because he thought because I messed it up. But it has a bunch of weird words in there that don't work with my tongue. It is the truth. Did you know that?
I just recently learned that, and I was shocked to find out it was in Ukraine. I've always believed it was in Russia.
I did, too. I did not know. That's why I made it one of the questions. Like, I'll be damned, I did not know that.
Yeah. Crazy.
Man, you should read about that.
Oh, it's
I mean, it is.
heartbreaking.
There was a, I guess that HBO special that they did that Jack turned us on to, the Chernobyl one, is that
right?
Was supposed to be the most accurate representation of what actually happened from minute 1 until now.
Oh, wow.
When it comes to that. So if you want to watch what that was all about, go to that HBO documentary. It's supposed to be amazing.
What was it called again?
I think it's just called Chernobyl.
Chernobyl.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
okay.
so. 1, 3, 4, or 5?
Let's go 3.
3 is Elizabeth. Elizabeth, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great.
Glad to hear that. We're talking about Ukraine, Elizabeth. Which one of these is untrue? Number 1, translated from Old Slavic, the word Ukraine means plentiful lands. Number 2, Ukrainian men wear their wedding bands on their right hand. Or lastly, Ukraine is the world's largest producer of sunflower seeds.
I would say that men wear their rings on the right hand.
No, that's absolutely true. Unfortunately, Ukrainian men wear their wedding rings on their right hand. And I think it has something to do with their left hand being dirty.
Oh, really?
Yeah, something like that, or some kind of weird thing there.
Well, the left-hand way is supposed to be the evil way.
The left hand is and they only wear it on the left hand if your spouse is deceased.
Oh, wow.
It's something like that. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so 1, 3, or 5?
Let's go 1.
1, right up there with Sean. Sean, how you doing?
Doing great.
Glad to hear that, buddy. You got a 50-50 shot at kicking it over to the Jackie sack. Which one of these is untrue? Number 1, translated from Old Slavic, the word Ukraine means plentiful lands. Or lastly, Ukraine is the world's largest producer of sunflower seeds.
We'll say number 1.
That's the one, buddy! Yay! Actually, in Old Slavic, it means border.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. You're a winner, buddy. I'm going to put you on hold.
Congratulations.
Cool.
All right, thanks, Sean. He cooled me there. Cool.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I think it means, if I remember right, when I looked at it, I usually write the right answer on the outside of that, but I didn't today. But I think it means borderland, or something like that. Here's some other things you may not know about Ukraine before we get to the top of the hour. We have Ray Trunley on the other side of this as well. The second deepest subway system in the world is in Ukraine. And it's so funny because I found conflicting reports on this. Somebody said it is the deepest. How far down do you have to go before you hit the subway platform at this particular station?
You go first, Jack.
Oh, for the deepest? How far down in feet?
Yeah. When you go down to this train station, because it was built to withstand nuclear blast, I guess, or something like that.
Oh my!
When you go down, how far down? Do you
200 feet.
I was gonna go 150.
350 feet below ground.
Add them together.
Listen,
boom.
They say that the escalator ride down to this thing is horrifying. That when you step on an escalator, it is like literally you're going into a blinking abyss.
Well, it's 30 stories down.
It's insane. And they said it's a never-ending escalator ride to get to the bottom and to the top of this thing.
Thanks, I'll walk.
Ukraine is in Europe. Where does Ukraine come in size-wise?
2.
3.
Jack nailed it. It's 2.
Oh!
Second only to Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ukraine
that's
is
true, yeah.
just a little bit bigger than France. Ukraine's about the size of Texas, just a tiny bit smaller than Texas there. And then lastly here, the longest wind instrument in the world is in Ukraine. It's called the trombita. It's a form of a trumpet, and actually they use it to signal other areas about weddings.
The Russians are coming?
Yeah. Weddings or harvests or something like that. They use it to send signals to other villages. How long is this trumpet?
Wow. 16 feet.
No, not even close. 17 feet.
50 feet.
No
way.
You know, I guess it's like that thing that they have in Austria, like when they
like in the Ricola commercial.
That's what I was thinking it was.
By the way, the end of it is like 17 inches or something like that.
Wow.
It's like a snare drum size down there.
God, yeah, check this out. It's huge.
Yeah.
Wow.
It doesn't lean on the ground, though.
No, it doesn't. No, they lift this one, whereas the ones in Ricola, they put those on the ground.
What is that thing called? What is that Ricola one where it comes down and this one doesn't like a saxophone?
No swoopy thing.
It's not going to swoop at the end. It's just a long straight like tube.
Man, gotta have a lot of air to make a sound out of that thing.
Yeah, and some of them are 50 feet long, 17 meters or so.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know how you would even use that.
God, why are there no Ricola commercials anymore? I haven't seen a Ricola commercial in a while.
Really? I saw one recently.
Did you really?
Yeah, with the horn that...
An Alf horn.
A what?
The long horn featured in Ricola commercials is called an Alf horn. Alphorn.
Oh, that's a great...
Traditional Swiss musical instrument.
That's a great trivia question, by the way.
And often used to signal between high pastures and valleys.
There you go. Yeah. That's exactly what this thing is for.
Hang on to that little nugget of information for Wednesday, gentlemen.
Oh, yeah. She goes that deep, I will throw something at her. My God almighty.
No, you won't. Not until after Bougie Brunch.
Exactly. She's going to do Boozy.
You need her for Bougie Brunch.
She's going to do Boozy first, and we're out.
Exactly.
All right, 407-916-1041. You can always text us at 77031. We'll have a fresh keyword for you here in just 1 second. And I'll tell you what we're talking about right after this, because I don't know yet.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Looking at stop-and-go traffic on I-4 right now in the Orlando area, east and westbound on the interstate by the major attractions exits. Still seeing delays from the vehicle fire that is eastbound on I-4 and currently blocking the ramp to Florida's Turnpike. A crash is currently blocking at least 2 northbound lanes on 436 between Redbug Lake Road and Oxford Road. If you see other traffic problems, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Man, let me tell you something about Eustace Roofing. These people are awesome. I was bragging on them today about with another client and how amazing these guys are. Look, when they walk into their property, there's some people that the minute they show up, you just kind of know how they hold themselves. That's exactly what these guys are like. And look, if you've been in business since 1959, you have a little swag too. They do it. Protecting homes for over 65 years here in Central Florida. As a matter of fact, in 2021, they were the National Roofing Company of the Year. You know what that means? You can trust them. And they run the cleanest site in the world. You'll never get a nail in your tire at a roofing job with Eustace Roofing. They have no interest financing. They serve all of Central Florida, and they are metal roofing experts, which means this. They actually have the machinery to build your roof on site so it fits your home perfectly, looks the best, and it performs the best. They actually may be able to satisfy your insurance carrier by cleaning or rejuvenating your roof, adding years to it. Just get on board with these guys and get that free estimate. It's EustaceRoofing.com. Again, that's EustaceRoofing.com.
It's the free event you've been waiting for. The Leesburg Bike Fest presented by Progressive, April 25th to 27th. A weekend packed with high-octane fun and rock and roll. Catch headliners Dirty Honey, Lit, Fuel, and Wade Jennings. Experience the Wall of Death, Pro Action Wrestling, 20 local bands, and more. There's something for everyone. Visit LeesburgBikeFest.com today to upgrade your experience with Sonny's Barbecue VIP passes. Sponsored by Budweiser, Gator Harley-Davidson, and Discover Lake County, Florida. Leesburg Bike Fest, where the road meets rock.
Get ready for fun family gatherings by replacing your old windows and doors with Renewal by Andersen. One reason, they're customizable. Choose from a variety of styles and finishes to match your home's aesthetic, with each product custom built to fit your home's exact specifications. James says installation went smoothly, installers polite and professional and hardworking. Take advantage of Renewal by Andersen's 1 month only sale. $300 off all windows, $825 off patio doors, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0% interest for 18 months. Bonus offer, first 50 callers get a free True Scene screen upgrade. Call Renewal by Andersen today for your free design consultation. It's simple. Dial pound 250 from your cell phone. That's pound 250. Say the keyword best windows and be connected in seconds. You will have the option to receive a one-time auto dial text message from iHeartMedia, official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. License number CGC 1527613.
Show off your new smile with Solid Bite. The dentists at Solid Bite use the latest techniques and technology to give you the smile you've always dreamed of. Call Solid Bite in Melbourne now for an exclusive radio offer at 321-259-8000. Solid Bite, life-changing dentistry.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crush Yard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
Total Wireless is made to totally keep up with you. We have unlimited data that never slows you down, covered by the Verizon 5G network, and all for less than $30 a month when you get 4 lines. And the best part, we give you a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G when you switch to the 5G Unlimited or 5G Plus Unlimited plan. Visit your local Total Wireless store today. Total Wireless, we're totally with you. Actual speeds may vary by location. For data management practices, see TotalWireless.com.
Mom and Dad seemed different after a European-style holiday on MSC Cruises.
Call us Cloud and Yvette.
The ship had restaurants, shops, and nightlife.
La Galleria.
And of course, American touches, like an aqua park and a sweets shop.
American je ne sais quoi.
Mom, you're from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, Kevin.
Book now and save up to 30% off, plus kid sale free.
MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Want to win $15,000 in new impact windows from Reese Windows? Pick up your phone and text the word WOW to 20129. That's WOW to 20129.
William is one of millions of Americans who uses GoodRx to save on the cost of their prescriptions.
My oldest daughter, Camilla, 2 days old, she had to have open heart surgery. All of a sudden, she's on 5 different medications. It adds up at the end of the month. Me and the pharmacist got so tight. She said, GoodRx save you a lot of money. Saving that extra $200-300 a month. We're able to do all these extra activities, so it puts less stress on our household, and it puts less stress on our pockets.
Download the free app or visit GoodRx.com and start saving today. GoodRx user compensated for their time. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance.
It's the Hard Rock Bet Battle of the Bets. 2 bets facing off. Winning side splits $250K in bonus bets every single day. Time to pick a side. Team underdogs or team favorites. Team over or team under. There's one way to settle this. Hard Rock Bet Battle of the Bets. Pick a side for $1. Win your share of $250K or more today. Prize pool to be paid out in bonus bets. Not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart Radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, CASH, C-A-S-H.
cash. Enter it now on our website at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show.
JCS crew. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Easter. Hopefully you guys had a really good weekend. The weather was spectacular. I drove around yesterday, dude, to see what was open. The Home Depot was open. So I ventured in. There were some people in there that weren't happy. They were not happy. I mean, the store would normally be open, but come on, man, it's a holiday. Hegseth has got to shut this thing down, man. He's going to expose some things, man. He's going to get caught up in a whirlwind that he's not going to be able to control. And not good.
Good afternoon, morning, Colbert Caruin. God dang it, of all the trivias I could have called into, I would have absolutely crushed this one. The sunflowers, Chernobyl, and the meaning of Ukraine, I could have just pinned immediately because I've been following and learning about that country ever since Russia's illegal invasion in 2014 and 2022. Yeah, beside that, much love to the people in Ukraine. Keep up the fight, and of course, Slava Ukraine. Big T out.
What's up, crew? Yeah, it's true that your phone is actually listening at all times, because now, since I've been listening to the show, I'm just getting ads full of tea bags and Ricola. So thanks. Appreciate it.
That'd be a hard search history to explain away.
Yeah.
For sure.
Wouldn't want to do it myself.
It's like going to the grocery store and only buying lube and zucchini. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. Your 6 o'clock keyword is cash, C-A-S-H. Just slide over to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. Cash, guys, that is your 6 o'clock keyword. We want you to win. Go get it. Remember, if you're playing a game, phone on, phone up, and answer the damn thing when it rings.
Thanks for reminding me I need to stop at the store.
Oh, yeah. For which? Is that for us to guess? I guess I'll flip a coin.
Nah, don't worry about it.
All right, welcome back. I'm Jim. There's Deb.
Hello.
Jack is here as well. Word. And our special friend dropped by with the pokey, just like he said I was going to. You guys give it up for Brother Matt.
Yay! Woohoo!
I love it when you walk in with that soft cooler full of fish, buddy.
Hey, that's not all he brought.
Oh, yeah, gummy nerds for sure. You sent Jack a picture of that slab of tuna you had for us. Who is that courtesy of, by the way?
That's Indy Atlantic Seafood Company in Indy Atlantic. Log Doggers Plaza,
Yeah.
A1A, Pat Zabinski, lifetime family of fishermen, grew up in Bahamas, all over fishing, but he supports local fishermen. Menu's really cool. Salads, wraps,
nice
sandwiches, stone crab claws until the 15th of May. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's all fresh. I mean, you cannot get better than what Pat offers.
What you brought us last time was like so good, like memorably good. I mean, it was delicious.
It's all the same every single time.
I can't wait to see it again, man. Good seeing you. Thanks for coming over, buddy. Good seeing you. How's things?
Thanks for having me. Good. Like I said, wedding anniversary today.
Yeah, how many years?
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. 13. Been
13
together 15.
years.
Shout out to the wife, because she's the one that puts in the time for the sushi rolls.
Yeah, good.
Hey, happy anniversary.
You can go now. Just bring your wife over next time.
I love her. She show up. She knows good.
Hey, and where are you? You know, it's so funny. We do get a bunch of texts and listeners every time you call in. You have this very wise Samoan kind of feel. Kind of what's that? Is it what are they? Is it it's Pacific Islander?
Pacific Islander would be the description for the people of the region.
Right. And how long you were born and raised in Hawaii?
No. I am actually from Seminole County originally.
That you lived over there for how many years?
10.
For 10 years.
Yes.
And you affected that kind of vibe, that thing. I can still hear it in your voice as if you'd lived there your entire life.
It was instinct. I mean, I had a job. I bartended in a cruise ship for the first 2.5 years I was there. So on a different island every day. Same schedule for the week, 2.5 years, Maui Monday, Hilo Tuesday, Kona Wednesday, 2 days in Kauai, back in Honolulu. So I got to experience, I was immersed instantly in all of the Hawaiian Islands.
It's so funny because in the 50s, and again, I think even continuing now, but for sure in the 50s, there was this really crazy fascination with Hawaii from America. I mean, if you look at some of the designs, and if you go look at home designs and decor from that era, you had a lot of Asian influence and a lot of Hawaiian or Pacific the Pacific Islands influence in design and styling in the 50s and stuff. So it was do you find that, do Americans really appreciate what Hawaii has to offer? I mean, do they look at it as a sacred place like the Islanders look at it?
I think if you've been there and you've experienced, then you really can get a kind of an understanding. But on the average, people are so on their own schedule and what they think. And I don't experience a lot of that with, people don't ask me a lot of questions anymore as of late. It seems like it's no big deal. Brett, I spent time in Hawaii. No big deal.
Yeah.
Some people will ask, but
I find it. I think it's fascinating. The culture is pretty amazing, right? I mean, it's steeped in respect and stuff for not only each other, but for Mother Earth kind of thing.
Absolutely. I don't know what we're gonna talk about, but I'll bring up one word from the Hawaiian language, and it's called kuleana. And kuleana basically means responsibility, but it's more of a personal thing. Your kuleana would be how you take care of your family, the land around you, everything you come in contact with, because basically you're expected to better it for someone else, or at least maintain it.
Yeah.
And that, in the Hawaiian people, they revere the land. I mean, there is massive respect. The Renaissance, the desire to go back to the kingdom of Hawaii is very strong.
Is it really?
So there's sometimes you can find animosity in people towards tourists. And the word haole originally meant outsider. But when the first Europeans came, west side of the Big Island, Captain Cook, they shook hands. They didn't greet the Hawaiian people the way the Hawaiian people were accustomed. Hawaiian people would press their forehead against one another, breathe on one another. So ha in the Hawaiian language means breath. Ole means without. So ha'ole means greeting without breath. And that's where the label came for outsiders.
Oh,
there we go.
Wow, how crazy is that?
All right, so this cat spends 10 years in Hawaii, and he comes back with all this knowledge.
Listen, that
Here's
could
the deal.
happen.
I could spend 10 years, and I wouldn't remember a fraction of what Brother Matt is able to tell us about, like the origin of
Dude,
haole.
I've lived in Orlando for 40 years. I take Waze to get home every day.
It's amazing the imprint that 10 years had on it.
What led you over there again? What got you to Hawaii again?
I mean, I was a career bartender. Actually, I was a bartender for CJ's, such as Jack was. CJ's Altamont back in the days. Like,
dude, you probably slang me a drink or two.
Oh, I'm positive, but
you probably saw me do some sketchy ass, buddy. I'm going to be honest, because
saw a lot of stuff back in the 80s.
I used to get pretty loose in that joint back when I was in college. We would go over there and destroy.
But there's a shelf life for a bartender. And back in the 80s, it seemed like I had great gigs. But there was a time period I didn't have any work. My buddy said, hey, bro, I'll get you a job on this cruise ship. In 3 weeks, all my stuff was sold, plane ticket. I had feet on Hawaiian land, ready to go. I just bailed. Plus, as a surfer, it was obvious.
Yeah, my God. And the thing is, when you leave, and Kelly Slater is a real outlier for a Florida surfer because, he surfs a lot of different waves big, but, over in Hawaii, there's an entire community that just surfs big waves. They go to Big Sur, they go to the bay there.
Waimea Bay.
Yeah, Waimea Bay. And a lot of the big breaks. What is the other one? Is a big pipeline's a big break?
Pipeline and backdoor. Actually, they call it the 7 Mile Miracle. When you actually go from Haleiwa town all the way to Kahuku, where Turtle Bay the hotel is, where that actual north point of the island of Oahu.
Right.
And there is just an endless amount of surf breaks right there. And there are the ones that people trying to make a career on, basically pipeline. But it's surf everywhere.
Yeah, you can surf everywhere. The thing is, everybody who's gone over there from Florida that I've talked to is this: like when you hear 6 foot wave, like people in Florida, 6 foot wave. Yeah, that sounds fun. Man, a 6 foot wave will kick your ass. Yep. It is so big. I've surfed during hurricanes before, and we had to. It was more of a wedge wave more than a rolling set the way it is in Hawaii. Occasionally, you get some sets in Central Florida that get 3 or 4 or 5 feet, and that's still a lot of fun, but. I've seen 6, 7, 8 foot surf just out there bobbing around in the Atlantic, and was amazed at how big that was. Because I remember the guy I was surfing with; they'd been surfing for years. And I'm like, "How big was that?" And I'm like, "I don't know, 7 foot." I'm like, 7 foot. But you're in the bottom of that thing, laying on a board, and you look up. It looks monstrous. I couldn't even fathom what a 25 or 30 foot wave, which is normal out there, would even look like.
Yeah. You laying on a surfboard in Florida? This is how you look.
Yeah.
You surfboard in Hawaii?
Yeah.
And then it gets dark on the outside in corduroy. Like from the height of the floor to the ceiling here, this is small.
Yeah, that's so insane. Man. So insane.
So triple this was very comfortable for me.
Yeah. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. The one thing I did want to talk about pretty quickly is there is a law or a bill moving through the Florida Senate to give homeowners the right to do this. I can't really mask it. They're giving you reasonable force to bring a drone down on your property.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it says a new bill moving through the Florida Senate will give homeowners the right to use reasonable force to take down drones infringing on their right to privacy, directly conflicting with federal airspace regulations while using new legal questions regarding how far a person can go to defend their home from surveillance. And that's kind of interesting because we've talked about this myriad times on the show.
Well, that guy in Mount Dora who shot down that Walmart drone is going to be very happy to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't like.
Well, what if it is a delivery drone?
Well, that's an expected thing, though, right? You're asked that to come to your house. So that's an invite. But what they're saying is people flying drones over your backyard while you're out there hanging out in your pool.
I get it. All right. So someone said, "Oh, I'm going to get him." He shoots. He misses. Where does the bullet go?
Hey, listen, Jack. Hold on. Stop for a second.
Get stuck in the cloud?
I'm not saying break out your AR. All I'm saying is reasonable force could be a lot of things. Reasonable force could be a long pole. Reasonable force could be some kind of net, anything like that. That's reasonable force. I don't know if reasonable is popping off rounds of an AR in a neighborhood because the Domino's drone's too close to your wife. It says no one wants to have a drone sitting over their property filming what they do for any reasons. And we've talked to Ray about this 100 times as well. We may actually bring it up today, but you've always wondered how that airspace above your home could be considered, anything other than an invasion of your privacy based on the structural lines that your home would create going up.
Well, I think of the high-rise apartments in downtown Orlando where a lot of residents were wondering what their legal rights were because they look out the window of their 27th floor apartment and they see a drone flying by. You think at the 27th floor, you may not be taking the same precautions you are when you're on the ground. Windows, curtains might be open. You may not be walking around wearing that much clothing.
Bottom line, does reasonable force include firearms?
Yes.
I do not think it does. I don't think it does. But it says, I guess in Florida, there's a 2024 Florida statute entitled Freedom of Unwarranted Surveillance Act that prohibits drone operators from using an aircraft to take photos or videos of private property, citing a person's right to privacy, which obviously you can understand. But the problem is exactly what Deb said. Even if I live on the 4th floor of an apartment complex, it doesn't have to be a big condo or anything like that. Somebody theoretically could hover a drone right outside your window and video everything that's going on in there. The problem with that is there's no markings on the drone. Maybe that's what should change. Maybe every time you fly a drone, it should have to identify itself, therefore that the owner can be identified. That's really the issue. Like if you're hovering a drone outside there, chances are I'm not going to be able to do anything to bring that thing down within reason. I'm not going to be able to do that. But if it had markings on it that denoted who exactly was powering that drone, they would probably be way less encouraged to fly that thing around to do stupid stuff, i.e. over your backyard or look into your windows when you're just trying to take a shower or, do stuff to yourself with I can't say that. We mentioned it earlier.
A drone is not within reach. If someone is videotaping you, they're 10 feet over your head. You can't reach them even with a pool skimmer.
But but the drone should have to identify. Like if a drone had an identification process.
Zone.
I mean, if it had
work for Walmart.
If it had an identification process. In other words, if you flew this drone and every time you flew it up, it sent out a signal saying exactly who owned it. Maybe a Bluetooth signal where it got within 100 feet or 50 feet of your house that you could look up and say that drone is owned by this person. Because that's the problem. It's the anonymity that makes it so crazy.
I work in private aviation, and I wonder how the FAA can determine who violates airspace that you're not supposed to fly a drone in, because they can. So there is identification that goes with it. But if you're not in restricted area,
Then how do you explain all those drones that were flying up there in the Northeast for what, about a week and a half, that they were flying drones over there and nobody could figure them out? You had senators on the House floor or on the Congress floor asking where these were, like demanding answers from NASA, demanding answers from the DOD. They had no clue. And these things were the size of cars.
I don't know. Let me check my phone. Maybe Hegseth just sent me something. Maybe he's got some intel.
Well, trust me, buddy. If he has it, everybody's got it. If he has it, everybody has it. There he is right now. He said, "Brother Matt, where is my drone?" All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Take a little break. We're going to have some poke, courtesy of Brother Matt. And what was it, Indian Atlantic Seafood?
Correct. Indian Atlantic Seafood Company.
Very nice. Thank you, guys. We appreciate that very much over there in Melbourne. And our buddy Ray Trinley will be up next.
Aloha.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Still looking at delays due to the earlier vehicle fire reported eastbound on I-4 that is blocking the ramp to the turnpike. Traffic is now backed up due to a crash with roadblock reported on John Young Parkway at President's Drive. If you run into any other traffic problems this afternoon, just make sure you're calling the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by FreshFromFlorida.com.
Meal planning is work, so let Fresh from Florida help. Learn what's in season, browse hundreds of recipes, and get tips from Chef Justin by visiting FreshFromFlorida.com. Eat healthier with Fresh from Florida. There's sunshine in every bite.
Hey everybody, Jim Colbert here for my friends over at FAS Windows and Doors. You know, I've hired these guys a couple times throughout the years. FAS Exteriors, they're awesome. They install my windows and doors right here in Orlando. Their expert team of window and door installers made the entire project seamless, all the way from measurements to the final inspection. Matter of fact, the inspectors from the county asked me who installed my doors because the job was so good, so buttoned up and so tight, they couldn't believe it. They wanted to know who did the job. And when I told them FAS, they said it makes sense. They've seen their work before. Simply amazing stuff. They've been doing it since 2005, and FAS has certainly earned their spot as Orlando's top-rated window and door experts. Upgrade your home today with a team that delivers excellence. Visit FASWD.com and trust the leader in windows and doors.
Car crash? Call Klausman. KlausmanLaw.com. That's KLAUSMAN.
Divorce is tough, but you don't have to go at it alone. Imagine building a team not to fight, but to win. 90% of divorce cases settle without a judge. At TK Law, our collaborative approach means you and your spouse work with lawyers, financial professionals, and mental health professionals to resolve issues with dignity and privacy. No court battles, just solutions. To protect your future, contact TK Law. We will help you navigate your divorce so you stay in control. OneFirmForLife.com.
It's Ram Truck Month, where right now at your local Ram dealer, well-qualified current Chevrolet, Ford, or GMC lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Quad Cab 4x2 for $369 a month for 42 months with $3,999 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra, no security deposit required. Call 1-877-RAM-5722 for details. Requires dealer contribution and lease through Stellantis Financial. No turn-in of competitive vehicle required. Extra charge for miles over 35,000. Not all customers will qualify. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 4/30/25.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crush Yard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
It's the free event you've been waiting for. The Leesburg Bike Fest presented by Progressive, April 25th to 27th. A weekend packed with high-octane fun and rock and roll. Catch headliners Dirty Honey, Lit, Fuel, and Wade Jennings. Experience the Wall of Death, Pro Action Wrestling, 20 local bands, and more. There's something for everyone. Visit LeesburgBikeFest.com today to upgrade your experience with Sonny's Barbecue VIP passes. Sponsored by Budweiser, Gator Harley-Davidson, and Giant Wreck World. If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Want to win $15,000 in new impact windows from Reese Windows? Pick up your phone and text the word WOW to 20129. That's WOW to 20129.
I'm ready. Let me just grab my bag. Sweatpants, huh? Didn't know we were keeping it casual this month. Yeah, I feel bloated every now and then.
You have to try new Align 3-in-1 Biotic Gummies. They have prebiotics to nourish good bacteria, probiotics to help relieve occasional bloating, and postbiotics for immune support.
All that in one gummy?
Yep. So no sweatpants next time?
Not anymore.
Align 3-in-1 Biotic Gummies for gut health support. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
If you've been in a big truck accident, you need a lawyer that specializes in big trucks. A lawyer who knows all the federal traffic rules that can affect your case.
And who can navigate the complex web of laws dealing with the trucking company, the leasing company, the shipper, and all the other details that can complicate your case.
At Farah & Farah, we've seen it all, and we're ready to go the long haul to fight for you. Orlando.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news, commercial and SBA loan rates are falling too. Get a quote to refinance your business loan today at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
The future of the NFL is getting written.
With the first pick.
Right now. The 2025 NFL Draft. Catch Jay Glazer alongside former Jets GM Joe Douglas, College Football Hall of Famer LeVar Arrington, and Fox Sports lead college football reporter Jenny Taft.
Hi, this is Jay Glazer.
LeVar Arrington here. Join us for Draft Night live on Fox Sports Radio.
Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Just search Fox Sports Radio and make it your next preset on the iHeartRadio app.
We are professional grade at Orange Buick GMC. Online at orangebuickgmc.com.
You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show.
Hey guys, I just want to give a shout out to my buddy T-Bag. You know, I've known him for about a good 10 years or so, and we still talk back and forth every once in a while. Hey, what's up, buddy? But some of the listeners might remember him as Dinkers. He used to call our show and leave his voicemails, so many voicemails, and we actually had a whole segment just for his drunken voicemails. Those are some good old golden days, I tell you. All right, Dinkers, nice to hear your voice out there, brother.
Man, you guys are so lucky having Brett and Matt there in the studio right now. All that fresh food and everything. That sounds so unbelievably delicious. And Brett and Matt, we definitely got to meet up sometime. I know I got to meet you before at one of Ross's comedy shows at Pineapples, but we definitely got to meet up and hang out sometime, my man. With that, Big T out. Peace.
Shout out Cobra Crew. It's the big eye. When you're high to the sky like me, you always stay fly. You feel me? Yeah, no, but for real though, I don't know if you're gonna talk about it, JCS News, but I really need someone to talk about this second leak from Pete Hegseth and another signal scandal. It's like, what are we really doing out here? Like, we just, I know the Pope died. RIP to the Pope. It sucks. But yeah, we need to talk about this foolishness.
Hegseth is texting you as we speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got that coming up, and you heard it here first.
By the way, that gentleman who called a little bit earlier, last break, Flexi James, we talk to him all the time. He's the guy that's got the real good voice like this.
Yeah.
And his phone connection always sounds like it's NASA, like it's perfect. You know, he's former military, and he's a guy saying that. A former military guy wanting answers on things like that, because even in the lower ranks in the military, you understand how important the transfer and protection of information, highly sensitive information is. And this just seems to be like so willy-nilly. Like, you know, now, 2 incidences in 1 month of this after only being in office for, 90 days, 100 days?
Not even.
Interesting. All right, welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. Don't forget, cash is your 6 o'clock keyword, CASH. Go to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. I'm Jim. There's Deb.
Hello.
Jackie's here as well.
Yeah.
Every single Monday around 6:20, this guy stumbles in, killing it, not sleeping, just working hard, putting bad guys away, just doing good stuff for good people. You guys give it up good and loud for the leader, the man at TK Law, Mr. Ray Trinley.
Yay! Woo-hoo.
stumbled in is almost how I felt today.
OneFirmForLife.com.
I was admiring the beautiful new paved job outside.
I know, the parking lot, right?
And I did stumble on my way in. I was like, oh, this is all nice and fresh.
Yeah.
There are very few weird things that I have that like I really appreciate. Freshly laid asphalt or freshly paved roads are one of my favorite things.
That's funny.
I like the smell. I like the texture.
You like the smell of it?
Weird.
I like driving on it. Like I actually did a little circle around the parking lot just to enjoy.
You are the weirdo I always knew you were.
It's a weird thing I have. That and I don't know, like freshly cut grass. I like
I'm okay
that
with.
too.
Here's the deal. They did half the parking lot. So I drove in on the new part, and then but my normal parking spot is on the old part. I got to drive on the old part
See,
now.
I'm not the only person. Everybody appreciates good fresh asphalt.
Now it's
Good
because
fresh ass is always good.
yeah, they spray that sealer on. It's what it is, right? And it's got that real kind of
Like oily, greasy
tar kind of smell.
I don't hate the smell of tar paper either on a fresh roof.
That's crazy. I like that.
I hate it, but I do love the smell of jet fuel.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a good
any
time.
That's a good
any
time.
high octane fuel is a
high-
good time.
I used to sniff octane boost when I pumped
Very
gas.
nice, Jack.
Yeah,
Very
that
nice.
was
That
great.
explains
Good
a
to
lot.
know.
Good
Good to
times.
know.
One of my favorite smells of all time, we've talked about this before, was I had an aunt that used to smoke Winston's.
Okay,
And
without the filter.
Yeah, and she lit it with a Bic, or not a Bic, but a
Zippo.
A Zippo.
Yeah.
So you'd have that Zippo lighter fluid
Yeah.
in the very first burn of a cigarette. That combination of smell, yeah, that's good.
Everybody's got those weird things, you know.
Yep.
All right, Ray Trinley obviously runs TK Law. That's OneFirmForLife.com. Offices right there in Altamont Springs. Estate planning, trip and falls, anything, divorces. They do it all over there.
They do.
A very busy guy. Pops in on Mondays to talk with us about what's happening in his world. What you got going, buddy?
Ooh, I can't really talk about what's really going on in my world. Like
Tough case.
I've got a good friend of mine who had surgery about a month ago, and he ended up getting an infection in his joint in his hip.
Oh no!
And me being the good friendly guy I am, I said, "Hey man, listen, if you need any help with anything, just give me a call."
And you say that hoping nobody says, okay.
That's right. That's right. You say,
oh, boy. Here
you
we
say
go.
it just to be a good guy.
Yeah.
No, I really do generally mean it. So I meant it, and he called me up, and he said, hey, man, I got this case. The judge denied my continuance because he's got wound care that he has to take care of because he's got this infection in his hip. And he's like, the judge denied it. And I told him I couldn't stand and I couldn't get around.
So the judge denied that?
The judge denied it.
Is that common? I mean, when there's a medical issue like that, because are they saying you should have known?
It's not common, but
it's pretty hardcore.
There's some issues in the case where the judge wants it to be over, and there's some time things that the judge is concerned about. So the judge has a valid reason to not grant the continuance.
Back the docket up a little bit or whatever.
Yeah, stuff like that. And so so anyway, he calls me up. This is Thursday of last week, and says, "Hey, would you be willing to do a trial for me?" I'm like, "Sure, I don't mind doing a trial. I do trials all the time."
Can I tell you? Had no idea you could even do that legally.
Yeah.
No idea that you could just kind of hand the baton off to another attorney.
Now, don't those normally take like several hours
or weeks
to prepare?
Yeah. I spent like all day Saturday at the office. About 4 hours Friday night at the office.
Your birthday?
On my birthday.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
You sweet thing.
Thank you. So
you made him blush.
I felt like a sweet thing.
Got a big fishy hug coming for you right after this show.
I appreciate that.
All right, yeah.
So anyway, I did spend some time preparing for it. So what I didn't ask, which has been a really good, relevant question to ask my buddy, is when is this trial? And
it seems like pertinent information.
It's a multi-day trial. It starts next Tuesday.
Oh goodness!
So
see you then.
Yeah. So opening statements start Tuesday morning, and so I got to be ready by Tuesday morning. So
can you share what kind of case it is or no?
I really rather not.
Okay, that's fine. Because you don't want people being able to isolate it. Yeah.
Yeah, and there are enough allegations in this case that I want to get it right. If I start talking about too many facts, you could Google news stories and pull together.
Yeah, we don't want to do that for sure. I want to put you in a situation that's bad.
So, but the answer is I'm going to win.
Nobody asked, but that's cool. I love that.
I've got a pretty good outline for how I think we're gonna win and be successful.
Is there a lot of good evidence on your side?
It's a sketchy one because of the facts of the case.
I see.
It's one of those ones where, not to say it's like this, but, like I'll use the Diddy case as an example. Like sometimes people don't always want to tell the full story because of how it seems in the public eye and stuff like that. So it's one of those cases where, there are good facts, but it's just getting those facts out into the open is going to be the challenge.
And that's all about asking good questions, right? I mean, is that a tough part of being an attorney? Is like forming the question so that there's no wiggle room for the person that's answering for the testimony?
So I used to think that was the right answer. So I don't think that's a bad question at all for you to ask me. I actually don't think asking the right questions is as important as establishing a rapport with the witness. And so a lot of people think that just because I'm on the other side, that witnesses are going to quiet up and shut down. And I've got a series of tools that I like to use that I think helps me build a rapport with a witness. And even if they're materially adverse to the opposing party, for an example, I try to break down some of those walls and barriers by doing some things that show that not only do I know what I'm doing, but this is going to be easier on everybody if they just follow along.
Right. I saw a video online yesterday about a federal agent who is doing taking doing an interview with a perpetrator, right? And the entire video was on how people who are skilled at asking you questions could get information to make you feel comfortable with them without even you knowing it. And like, dude went in, this guy was like, I ain't saying nothing, blah, 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 blah. And he goes, hey man, I get it 100%. Didn't even do the coffee thing. He just sat there and talked. Within 90 seconds, this guy had told him everything that he wanted to know, and the guy didn't even think he gave up anything.
Right.
Just because he knew exactly how to pose the question to get the information he wanted and needed.
And the other part of that is also understanding what you do and don't have to prove, right?
Yeah,
so, I don't have to necessarily get you to admit to everything in a case. I just have to get you to admit to the things that I can't prove without you. And so a lot of times people think that they're leaving out the key details that you need to prove your case, but you've now filled in all the gaps for me, and I can fill it all in after the fact.
Right.
That's the reason, I tell people who are either pulled over or detained and being interviewed by law enforcement, when they read your Miranda warnings, they don't say anything you say can be used for you. It's anything you say can be used against you.
Can and will. They're telling you they can and will be used against you.
And so be mindful of the fact that nothing you share is going to be used in exculpating evidence for you to avoid prosecution. So be careful what you say, and obviously you got to cooperate and do basic minimal things, but telling them your whole life story because you think it's not going to be relevant could very well be relevant.
Yeah, way relevant, more than you know.
Yeah.
Ray Trinley here with us, TK Law, onefirmforlife.com. Right before you came in, we were talking about this new Senate bill that's going through to help you curb what drones can and can't do over your property. Did you see this thing?
I did not see this, but I mean, it's something they talked about, I think July of last year, they were talking about trying to do something like this.
Yeah, the Florida Senate's giving homeowners the right to use reasonable force to take down drones that they believe are infringing on their right to privacy, which is directly in conflict with the FAA, who basically says you can't do any of that.
Can't shoot them down, that's our thing.
Yeah.
Well, is shooting down reasonable force?
Oh, I was going to say, that was my next question, was going to have that defined what reasonable force would be.
Yeah, they haven't really. I mean, as a matter of fact, every time they mention the word reasonable force in this story, they put quotations around it as if they don't even know what the hell that means.
We'll define that later. After the law passes, we'll figure out what reasonable force is.
It says almost every state has laws on privacy, including drones. I can't say that we've seen one where it really allows for self-help. In other words, if you feel you're being infringed upon, I mean, the first thing I guess you would do is you'd call the law. But the problem is even calling 911, like we'd said earlier, what are you going to do? They fly the thing back and they put it in their car and they go away. I mean, you don't have the ability to drive, 3.5 or 2 miles or a mile. I don't know what the range is.
It depends on the drone. But I mean, even conceptually, just say it's 500 yards, right? If it's not in a line with a road, you're not going to be able to get the drone before the drone gets to wherever it's going.
No, and that's what I was saying. It should have drones should have to identify themselves, and that drone should be registered with an owner so that if any time a drone goes over, it should show a way that it basically tells you who the owner is.
Someone texted and said they already do that. It's called Remote ID. It's a system used to identify UAVs, a.k.a. drones. Every drone sold from any major retailer is equipped with a remote ID, literally tell you who the pilot is, where they took off from, and aircraft description and model.
Yeah, but how do you get that information?
I guess they already
You probably have to
for a private-
identify what the drone is. Would be my guess.
Yeah, because I'm saying if you're
Yeah.
laying in your backyard and you're trying to get some sun on your boobs, and the next thing you know, there's a drone hovering over your 20 feet. I mean, how are you supposed to know what all that is? I mean, even if it is broadcasting that signal, if you don't have something to receive it or know how to find out what that signal is, I mean, how would you know anything?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Florida has a constitutional right to privacy, so most states have some right to privacy. Florida says, hey, it's so important to us. We actually have a constitutional right. And constitutional rights cannot be infringed. And so, to me, what is reasonable to take down one of these drones? I don't know. Shooting it down, that seems like the most common way that somebody might use self-help.
But that's the most irrational, though. I mean,
right, which is something that, generally speaking, we try to avoid people using firearms for self-help. Right, that's generally a bad thing unless your life is being at risk of serious bodily injury or death.
We should create a round that is a drone round, pack it into a shotgun shell, and make it where it's like plastic beads or something like that you could shoot the thing down. It would take the drone out, but it wouldn't harm anything that it touched. The drone round.
I don't know. Have you ever
I'm
seen
making it tomorrow.
The airsoft guns and stuff like that?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, those are just plastic BBs, but those still break glass and
They can
take out an eye or.
And the guy says, "Here, look. If I'm at a park playing baseball with my kids or basketball, whatever, somebody puts a drone up just to to show somebody what the park looked like. It's an active park. Maybe they're trying to sell a house. Who knows? But that's different than you hovering a drone over my pool, my fenced-in pool, to see my kids or wife out there, sunbathing or son or whomever.
Yeah. So I think that there's got to be some. There's going to have to be some definition built into that other than reasonable means.
Because here's the last paragraph. Right? It goes, if passed, the bill would allow homeowners to take matters into their own hands if a drone is spotted over their property, but it doesn't really specify what constitutes quote-unquote reasonable force, raising red flags that could show a force showdown between the Florida law and the FAA.
I've seen coming out of Ukraine, they've got like these net guns that they'll shoot at the drones. They have the recently they've unleashed some of these like EMP type blast guns.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Out of England, they have one that they did. I think it was 250 drones were being like kind of swarmed in, and it shot down like I don't know how many shots it took, but they took down 250 drones before they were able to get over the spot of where they were supposed to go to. So
the EMP basically is just a magnetic pulse that would shut down the communication possibilities for the drones, right?
It would kill all electronics.
But the question is, right, if there's an airplane flying over top
or a
helicopter,
exactly.
Right, what happens? Because not everybody's going to be, as acutely aware of their surroundings possibly. And so, again, what does that mean? And I think that's going to be the hang up that I would have up with a law like that.
Look, can I tell you? I mean, depending on how far it is and what kind of, they're not going to be flying close to you or whatever. But I mean, theoretically, that shotgun shell that you're talking about, that's a shotgun shell with a net packed in it. That's a form of non-lethal that officers use throughout the nation. I don't know what, I'm sure it's from department to department, but that's been one for a while. Also, that glue gun. Like, have you ever had hornet spray or wasp spray? Have you ever gotten one of those cans? Dude, that thing can spray a bead from here to the other side of Jack.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, again, I don't know how high that is.
Don't try it.
But so like most of those things are anywhere between like 20 and 50 yards, max range.
What are you doing? One's 150 feet with a magnetic, a magnifying camera.
Right. So, so the drone that I got.
Oh, you're a problem. You're the problem.
I am the problem. So the drone I got, it goes up to like 200 something feet. It has a 12 times lens.
Wow.
So like I can get pretty good detail on some of those things, and it's just it's one of those ones that everybody talks about being made in China. So who knows what data gets sent to China with it?
And that's the reasonable force thing, right? Because you could see if that thing's 50 feet, 60 feet, maybe 20, 30 feet, you'd have a shot with something like manageable. But, I mean, that thing's 100 feet in the air. I mean, what are you going to get it with?
When I'm 100 feet in the air, I can hear it.
Yeah.
But I could barely even see it in the sky.
Right.
It's just a little gray thing hovering over in a blue sky.
Right.
So, to me, that seems Seems like you're asking for trouble. People are going to start
problematic.
Yeah.
We'll see how they're going to work out that reasonable forcing for sure. All right, 407-916-1041. Again, you can always text us 77031. Cash is your 6 o'clock keyword. Deb, got some news for you. Heard it here first?
Yeah, we're going to talk about Hegseth sharing detailed military plans in a second Signal chat. Frost and other U.S. reps visit El Salvador seeking the return of a deported man. And when you can watch Conclave. We'll talk about that next during You Heard It Here First.
You got it. A single break. We'll come back. Do You Heard It Here First? Got a few more minutes with Ray, and we'll get the hell out of here on a Monday.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by MyEternalVitality.com and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James Miguel and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
Hey there, Central Florida. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team Meteorologist Snell Bergen here. We're looking at a mostly sunny week. Temperatures climbing back into the low to mid 90s by late this week into weekend. No notable chance of rain anytime soon. Drought will continue to worsen before it gets better. No really any chance of rain until at least early May at this point. At the beaches, things will be great this week. Fantastic upcoming beach weekend on Saturday and Sunday. From Fox 35, I'm meteorologist Noah Berggren.
This report is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Road trip? Let's go! But first, drive into Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where we only pour premium Valvoline oil. No appointment needed. Save today at VIOC.com. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. We'll get you back on the road in no time.
Here in Orlando, we know life doesn't slow down for anything, especially a broken garage door. Since 2002, Precision Garage Door has been proudly serving the Orlando community. Local and reliable, that's what makes them different. Their vans are fully stocked, so when you call, their fully vetted techs are ready to provide you with same-day service. Whether it's a stuck door or a snap spring, they have you covered right when you need it most. We know a broken garage door can't wait, which is why we're always prepared to help by keeping our vans fully stocked. Call Precision Garage Door today or visit them online at PrecisionGarageDoor.com. Precision Garage Door. Garage doors done right.
Victim of a slip and fall? It takes one phone call to take back control of your life. Anajar and Levine will fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Call me, Mark Anajar, for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
Main Office, Orlando.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Spring is here, the perfect season to give your aging roof the attention it deserves. Florida's highest rated roofer is here to help. Save up to $2,000 this season. Get started at JannyRoofing.com.
Offer only applies on full roof replacement and expires May 31st, 2025.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Hey Orlando, Joe Rossi here from Greenway Kia. By now, you've heard about the auto tariffs, but at Greenway Kia, we planned ahead. We've been stocking up on new Kias at all 3 locations. Drive home the new Kia you want tariff-free. Like new 2025 Kia Sorento SUVs for only $179 per month for 24 months with 0 security deposit. We want to see you in a Kia. Visit greenwaykias.com.
Qualified applicants through KFA include $650 acquisition fee, 10,000 miles per year, $49.95 at inception, plus tax, title, license, $899 dealer, and $249.50 doc fee. Expires 5/5/25.
The future of the NFL is getting written
with the first pick
right now. The 2025 NFL Draft. Catch Jay Glazer alongside former Jets GM Joe Douglas, College Football Hall of Famer LeVar Arrington, and Fox Sports lead college football reporter Jenny Taft.
Hi, this is Jay Glazer.
LeVar Arrington here. Join us for Draft Night Live on Fox Sports Radio.
Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Just search Fox Sports Radio and make it your next preset on the iHeartRadio app.
Here's another success story by the Nickley Group. Jake and Mandy needed to sell their home in Orlando. Jake had just received an offer for a job transfer out of state, and they had a tight timeline. What to do? They called the Nickley Group. Jake and Mandy sold their home for top dollar, beating their own deadline. Their home went under contract in 2 days with a full price offer, and their home sold for a record price in their community. Ready to make a move? Leave it to the experts. Visit thenickley.com. Local experts doing real estate differently.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Alpha Foundations comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at alphafoundations.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
The new iHeart app just looks better.
The best feature of a car radio on the app.
It's the presets.
Super easy.
And thank you for keeping it free.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeart Radio app today.
iHeartRadio.
Need help navigating your will or trust? Visit onefirmforlife.com today for your free consultation.
Stay tuned to the Jim Colbert Show as we demonstrate our attitude of gratitude. Our thank you segment is sponsored by Life Imaging FLA. Now open. Call pound 250 keyword heart scan.
Our friends at TK Law want us to look ahead, so we'll look ahead tomorrow on the Monsters in the Morning. They got some great prizes, and Russ will have some Earth Day trivia for you for the Triple R trivia at 7. Also, Detective Barb from Crime Line will be in studio. That's tomorrow on the Monsters in the Morning. Look ahead with the team at TK Law to plan your family's future. Visit onefirmforlife.com.
You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show.
What up, Colbert crew? So with a drone, they all have remote ID, or most of them do. You simply just need an app. It'll show you every drone within about a mile, where they took off from, the owner's name, how long they've been flying, their flight path. And for as far as taking out a drone, I would say shooting a drone should absolutely not be allowed. 9 out of 10 times they're going to miss, and where's that bullet going? All right, guys, peace.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that.
Okay, I have to admit, Trendley has it right. The smell of fresh asphalt is a beautiful thing because even if the smell isn't that great, the ride on that road is beautiful. I just had the road on my way to my neighborhood repaved after I just moved, and it was awful before, and it is so glass smooth and beautiful, and I could care less about that tar smell.
Yeah.
Don't give a damn.
Yeah.
Who is it that keeps getting the whoop?
It's a bit, dude.
Bloop, bloop,
All right. You've been listening for like 35 years, right, dude?
Little bubbles popping up all over the place.
No, that's little pieces of really sensitive information.
It's the Secretary of Defense. He keeps texting us.
Well, he thinks he's putting it in his Culver's order, but unfortunately, he's sending super highly confident information to the fry cook.
Right, here we go. I would like the fried fish with a cement mixer on the side.
Right. Oh, yeah, and a missile attack on the Houthis. All right, welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. Got a few minutes for your keyword cash, C-A-S-H. That is your 6 o'clock keyword. Tom and Dan and those guys will have a fresh one for you at the top of the hour. Welcome back. I am Jim. Jack and Ray Trendley here as well, along with Deb. Deb will get your news here in 1 second. I want to remind you guys, Boozy Brunch is up and ready to go.
Yeah, it is.
If you want to go get your tickets, you can do that now. It's realradio.fm/brunch. It is a great deal. I'll let you go and read about it. We'll tell you more about it tomorrow as we kind of continue to push until we sell those 100 tickets. Then we'll move on. It is going to be one of the best monies you can spend. Only $85, 3 drinks, oysters, shrimp, pastries, an entree from their brunch menu, plus all the entertainment prizes. It is going to be a blast.
Jim, Jack, and Ray doing burlesque.
That's right. May 4th at Osprey, which is their owners are Beard-nominated restaurateurs, some of the best restaurants in the city. And you won't find anybody to disagree with that, by the way. They're super, super good at what they do, and we are going to have a blast. Can't wait to see you there. Again, that's May 4th, realradio.fm/brunch. Grab your tickets today, because when they sell out, they're all done for sure. Deb, let's do You Heard It Here first.
It's time for? You heard it here first on the Jim Colbert Show.
Well, we did have the talk back of the listeners saying, hey, let's talk about this. So let's talk about it. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth has reportedly shared more detailed military plans across a second group chat in the Signal app, this time with members of his family. Multiple reports say Hegseth shared the military plans regarding an operation against Houthis in Yemen with his brother, personal lawyer, and wife. Hegseth's brother and lawyer both have jobs at the Department of Defense, although his wife does not. The report comes following an incident last month where top members of President Trump's cabinet sent operational plans and classified information about U.S. military strikes on Yemen to a group thread on Signal, to which the editor of The Atlantic was accidentally included. President Trump said this is all a waste of time and added Hegseth is doing a great job.
That's cool. I don't know the measurement device which they're using.
Another text coming in. A Central Florida Democrat is one of 4 House members who traveled to El Salvador attempting to meet with a Salvadorian national deported from Maryland. U.S. Representative Maxwell Frost says the case is about more than the fate of Kilmer Abrego Garcia.
Because it's not just about him. It's about the fact that in the Oval Office, Donald Trump brought up that he wants to do the same thing to quote-unquote homegrowns. Homegrowns being U.S. citizens.
The Trump administration says Garcia is an illegal immigrant, a terrorist, and a member of MS-13.
And finally, a Republican in the Senate stood up and finally said something. Kennedy actually says today, that was a mistake, and we should not have done that. We should not be doing that.
Just ask Pete Hegseth.
Yeah.
All right, the Oscar-winning film Conclave will be available for streaming tomorrow on Prime Video. The film centers around the death of a pope and the process of electing a new one. It comes as Pope Francis died from a stroke today. Conclave won Best Adapted Screenplay at the Academy Awards and was nominated in 8 different categories, including Best Picture.
And then when you mentioned it earlier, we must have had 8 or 10 texts that said it's amazing. You have to see it. It's pretty amazing.
And it will explain the process that we're about to undergo. But regardless, you heard it here first on the Jim Colbert Show.
Thank you, Deb.
You're welcome.
Who do we have to thank today, young lady?
Well, we want to thank friendly attorney Ray Trendley from TK Law.
Is he friendly?
OneFirmForLife.com.
This guy likes to snort parking lots. Is he a good guy?
I did not make any jokes about your hair today, so watch out.
There you go, Jimmy.
I'm still paying you back from last week.
That's right.
There you
Fair,
go.
God,
fair
look
point.
at this guy. Look at this guy.
We also want to thank Brandon Kravitz from 96.9 The Game. In case you missed he and Jim talking sports. And Jack, his podcast has already been posted to the Jim Colbert Show. Brother Matt.
Brother
Matt.
The man.
Yes, for
Brother
the
Matt.
poke.
Brother Matt gets a clap. Early dinner tonight.
And
thank
the Nerd
you.
Gummy Clusters. Thank you so much.
And that's in the Atlantic Seafood
Company.
Seafood Company. Yeah,
Yep,
very good.
In the Atlantic Seafood
Thanks,
Company.
guys. Great
and
fish.
Then last and never least, Sam Bowen and Candace Rich for running our YouTube chat that kicked Jack out earlier
There you
today.
go. Jack, question of the day.
Yes. When did you feel like you were an adult? I gave options. It was under 18, 18 to 20, 21 to 23, or just older.
Oh, so there's no option for still waiting?
Yeah.
Well, older. So
Yeah.
you would have checked older for
Oh,
that.
my God. I would think second choice.
It's pretty close across the board.
Is it really?
It has a pretty good representation in all 4 categories, but the highest percentage at 35% is what?
Older.
Older.
Yeah.
Wow.
More than 23 before they felt like an adult. 25% were 21 to 23, 21% at 18 to 20, and 19% said they felt like an adults before they were 18.
Damn, really?
That would
Wow.
be Jimmy.
Yeah.
For me, it was replacing my first AC unit, realizing how expensive that is.
Yeah, exactly. That's adulting hardcore.
That is adulting.
My first apartment at like 20 years old, when I will never forget the feeling of walking into that apartment and shutting the door behind it and realizing that nobody was going to say anything to me after
This
that.
is mine.
Yep.
Holy ass.
Even when you walked in and saw only a beanbag and a hot pot,
did
it
not
was
matter.
yours.
It did not matter.
It was yours.
All right, coming up tomorrow, it's Tuesday. We'll do It's Only Money. We'll also do What'd You Do That's New, Jack's Choice, which I have to watch tonight.
Hopefully you recorded it.
We'll have 4 more opportunities for you and $1,000 plus your calls, texts, and talkbacks, of course. I'm Jim. There's Deb.
Yeah.
Jack is here.
Yeah.
And Ray as well. And
Yeah.
Brother Matt.
Yeah.
We follow the News Junkie. They follow the Monsters of the Morning. After us, it's Tom and Dan with Corporate Time and our friends from Real Laughs. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 for more of the Jim Colbert Show. Until then, have yourself a fantastic Monday evening.
See you tomorrow. Stay cool. Bye.
Lord have mercy.
If you missed missed any part of today's show, check out the Jim Colbert Show on demand. And for highlighted feature segments, listen to the Jim Colbert Show, The Goods. Both are